I thought you were just gonna just be like on your phone.
No.
I was like, "Hello, everybody."
We are here. Not cool in high school. Got a lot to talk. Well, I don't know if we have a lot to talk about. We'll find out. We'll see how this goes. Ben's got like a 3-minute topic. You said
Not really.
All right. We'll see how.
It's 4. Right? It's 4.
We are in the seat of our pants this episode. This is. I'm not super prepared. It's been a really busy week, and then yeah. But yeah, if you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, like button, and then check out the links below for everything we talk about for the most part. If you want to support us, there is a merch page. You can go buy stuff. But who are we kidding? No one buys it anyway. But anyway.
It's there.
And talk about being condescending.
Yeah.
It does. Listen.
I know.
No one buys it. Bangin' Beers is the only one that's getting merch sold. We sold 2 hoodies.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's a band or something where you're going to shows and putting it all out and no one's buying anything.
Yeah. It happens.
I mean, we put our shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. We didn't sell one yet. So,
Really?
Yeah.
I like the new one.
Yeah. I'm going to have them
The
hopefully
X-Men.
Saturday. Yeah.
The X-Men.
Yeah, it's an error X-Men.
Yeah.
So that guy works for IDW Comics on a book called Pandemica. And we met him at Comic-Con a couple years ago and had sketches done. And I sound really deep today. I don't know why. I don't know.
You can just take you down here.
Yeah, that's fine. I would be like Howard Robin.
Hey now.
Hey now. So Alex Sanchez did our art, and
Speaking of Howard,
He's
I'm
doing pretty
wearing the Iron Chic shirt
Yeah.
tonight.
which is a kind of a connection because he was on a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, a bunch actually. He was a
Really?
whackpacker. Yeah, he
Was he official? I know. I
was
wasn't
a-
really listening. I know he was on a couple times.
He toured with the
Oh,
whack,
did he?
the
Oh, wow.
hack pack or whatever
Yeah.
they call
The
themselves.
Shuli's Whack Pack tour or whatever.
There's
the bottom of the shirt says, "I'll break your back and make you humble."
Yeah, I remember when he first came out, that whole shirt that said the whole spiel.
Yeah.
And I wanted it, but I never got it.
Yeah.
I literally just been watching some old clips like I always do. I was just listening to an Iron Sheik Beetlejuice argument, and it is so goddamn funny. It
can
is
imagine.
absolutely hilarious.
I like when they put them in the other studio and they're like, on the phone is the Ultimate Warrior. He's like, "Fuck you, Sheik."
Oh, the
Sheik.
video, yeah, when they do the
Piece
video
of
screen
shit,
with
Sheik.
with Richard, that is so funny, man. I want to do my next topic on Howard Stern because we were talking about that the other day in my group chat.
That's
That'd
so
be a good
That's
one.
a good one. The topics are a good idea because we share, especially the niche ones like his chick tracks and
People are
everything.
still flocking to that.
Yeah, a lot of people in
Isn't
my
that
group
great?
really like that one. They're all like comic book fans, but they didn't know about that, and they're still. I still get messages about it.
Yeah, we just got 2 more. Well, there's one guy, I guess he's from one of the groups that I posted it in, and he went and looked at it, and he was like liking all of the artwork and stuff, and then the exclusive one got the wow face, like he was like, holy fuck. So yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool.
Last week's episode,
Dynamite Comics liked it.
Dynamite Comics
How
and
about
the
that?
official Red Sonja page liked it.
which has the check, so it's not just like the
It's a
official fan
verified,
page.
it's a verified Red Sonja page.
So probably whoever has the rights owns that.
And then some people are hitting it up on YouTube. Some people commented,
Really?
they're like, "Hey, you should
didn't
check
check
out
that
this
out.
girl. We think she would be a good cast to play the next comment and put a link to."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a lot of cool stuff. One older episode that still gets a hit or two every now and then in comments is when I interviewed Andy from Andrew. He played the original Pet Sematary, Zelda.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll get some comments on that one. So that's pretty cool. Like someone just messaged like, "Holy shit, for some reason I just Googled Zelda Pet Sematary and your interview popped up, and it was cool to like actually see him without the makeup and tell the story of the like how he got the role
Yeah.
and everything." And I was like, that's awesome. Because he played a girl. Like he was a guy that played a chick in a horror movie. But the special effects makeup, you had no idea. And he did fucking fantastic. Yeah, so news-wise, did anyone have anything they came across that interested them?
Just the Kobe Memorial yesterday was super. On 2/24, that was super fucking sad.
Yeah.
For anyone that watched it, if you didn't watch it, just look up Michael Jordan and Shaq's speeches, especially. And
Jordan,
then also Vanessa
Jordan
Bryant,
was
too.
he had actually had a pretty funny line in it. He goes,
Yeah.
"I told my wife I didn't want to do this because I don't want to look at myself for another 5 years as a crying meme," because he knew he was going to go up there and cry.
That meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually his speech was really good.
Yeah, because it was really heartfelt too. Because he talked about how a lot of his career he didn't hate Kobe, but he was like, this fucking kid. Like he's taking all my moves, he's doing them just as good, if not better. Like everyone's saying he's the greatest of all. Because Jordan didn't want to let it go.
Yeah,
he was very
Flair. Yeah.
He was very well. Not so much he didn't want to let it go, but he was just like, no, I'm still here. I'm the shit. and these motherfuckers are saying this is the next, like this is me, this is the best guy, and I'm still on the court. And so and then I guess year after year, Kobe would just be like, man, I need, how do you do this? What do I do here? And he was just like, this fucking guy won't leave me alone. And then he was just like, you know what? Like, he kind of took a step back, and he's like, this is I'm doing it. He's doing it for a reason. He respects my game. He wants to be the greatest. And
yeah, he talks about him becoming his little brother. It's so fucking sad.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you see how, like, I think it's his wife's, like, suing
The pilot's family.
That's fucked up, in my opinion.
I would.
Did the pilot die too?
Yeah.
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 I don't. I'm not.
I'm sure he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Like,
I
He's like,
didn't
watch this.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I know the only thing that I know about it is he had to get special clearance, and I don't know if they were aware that he had to get special clearance is what I'm hearing. I don't know too many details of the lawsuit. That's actually the first time I'm hearing about that. But
here's how I look at it. Like, it sucks losing, obviously, your husband and your daughter, but this pilot obviously is not making Kobe Bryant money. And to sue his family, who's going through a grieving process as well.
Yeah.
I just
They're
think
going
that's
through the same
It
thing
ain't
she
bringing
is.
anyone back.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have to check that out because that would be.
I think at first that the article said she's suing the manufacturer of the plane, the helicopter.
Well, that would be the way to go because they have a notoriously bad safety record.
Yeah.
And actually, this employee from them came out and he was like, "I told them in the '90s this helicopter is not safe. It has an above average crash rating, stuff like that." And he's like, "I told them it's not safe."
Yeah.
And they didn't pull them.
I believe it was Kobe's helicopter. He owned it.
Yeah, it was
I don't
his
think
helicopter.
the guy who piloted owned the helicopter.
No, it was Kobe's helicopter, but they had a notoriously bad safety rating, and this employee tried to get them to recall them, and they wouldn't.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going after the helicopter maker or if they're going after the company of the pilot who, like, I guess was.
It would make more sense the manufacturer. If it's the pilot,
Yeah.
I would agree that's fucked up.
Yeah. And I got a lot of people who are like, Kobe wouldn't have done, like, you know, that's not a Kobe move to go after someone like that. But
It doesn't even seem like her move because everything she's done, she's like, I don't want any donations. Give them to the Mamba and Mamacita Foundation for the families. Like, she
Yeah.
doesn't want any money from it, from what I've heard. So that's interesting.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't look into it, but I did read the headline, like the snippet article.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see that.
Disney has a new CEO.
That happened today, didn't it?
Yeah, the main dude stepped down. I don't know.
Well, that means
Bob
Disney's
Iger.
going to be sold, and all the Disney characters will show up in Nintendo now.
Yeah,
because that's
what
happening in
it
DC.
means. Yeah. Who shared that? Was that you that shared that?
Yeah, I know. Fucking
Didn't check your resources a little bit.
Well, a lot of people fell for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And there was like idiots on YouTube making videos. Oh, Batman and Wonder Woman are going to be in Marvel movies. Okay. Like, come on.
realistically, if it were to happen, if Marvel gets the money and DC for some reason just is that hard up for cash,
Yeah. Plus, it would be Disney that would buy it.
yeah, that's more believable than anything.
Because Disney owns Marvel, so
yeah.
Marvel wouldn't buy DC.
Yeah,
No.
if I mean Disney buying DC is not out of the question. Not super far fetched in the next 10, 15 years because they fucking own everything. But how do you think they would handle that? Do you think they would keep everything the way it is, but just have maybe cross reference here and there?
That would be the smartest way to do it.
Yeah,
I'm sure they would do. They would try to do like some kind of multiverse movie too, where they cross into the DCU. I don't know how. I wouldn't personally like it if they bought it. But
DC has its own
Multiverse. But
yeah,
I mean,
its
so
own
Marvel.
its own planet. Like not planet. It's still Earth, but it's not like Los Angeles. Where
Yeah,
Marvel,
it's Earth with more towns.
Infinite Earths is what they call
Well, I'm
it.
saying
There's
no,
52
like,
planets. Well, 52 Earths and dimensions.
what I'm saying though is like Marvel is based off what we would consider Earth. Like there's
Yeah, but there's still New York City and DC.
is there?
Yeah.
And it's not even Earth 1
Yeah.
in the DCU. It's Earth like
just-
660 something.
Yeah, 616.
Yeah.
So it's our Earth with more towns.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this Gotham City is somewhere like in New York, but then it's some weird times it's in the Midwest because Metropolis is in the Midwest.
It's like Chicago sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
But I was saying to Ben, you know what the number one selling comic was last year?
A DC
Can you
comic.
guess? Yeah, Detective Comics 1000. So
Yeah.
if they're going out of business, that means all comics are going out of business, right? Because that was the number one selling comic. Number
I
one
think-
selling graphic novel, Watchmen,
Yeah.
and then Doomsday Clock. So come on.
It's really only their movie wing that struggles. They put out. It's so inconsistent.
I don't think it struggles. I just think they have
it
the
makes
wrong
money.
people in charge.
As long as a movie makes more than what it costs to make, it made some money.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but through
if it doesn't
advertising
make-
and the ridiculous salaries they have to pay people, they're actually sort of losing money from what I've read. But, I mean, they always have time to turn it around, of course. Like, if they start... See, what Marvel did that was really smart was they brought in top talent. They brought in top directors, top actors, top actresses, and they let them have it. They didn't try to make somebody's career through a Marvel movie. They brought in already established people, and that helped gain the traction with the MCU. And I think if the DCU is starting to go that direction, and once they go in that direction, I think they'll be better off.
The thing with DC is they need to stay their roots to DC. They have to make DC movies, because on Suicide Squad, they got a little bit of flashback because everything was shitting on it on the internet, and they said, "Oh man, people aren't liking this. We need to pull the plug. We need to rewrite and reshoot this entire."
I liked Suicide Squad.
I thought it was awful.
If you read a comic, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that means you don't like the comic. So if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah. So I think. Well, here's the thing. Marvel's in the same boat as if like I'm an Xbox guy and you're a PlayStation guy. Like the PlayStation fan base is like
just them people.
everything you do is horrible, and I will shit on it, and I
Yeah.
don't like it. And that's kind of how Marvel fans are to DC, and DC are to Marvel.
I'm a big fan of both personally. I like Wonder Woman is awesome. It's one of the best comic book movies in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I like both of them. I just don't think DC movies have lived up.
Yeah, I just don't like if they're going to make DC movies and make them like Marvel movies where they have to add a stupid little joke in there here and there, and everything's all funny and everything's all games.
Well, some is. See, not every comic is dark.
Yeah,
Batman is.
See, I like
but not
Aquaman
Superman.
because of the comedy. I like Shazam because of the comedy. But they come from ridiculous comic book stories.
Yeah.
Aquaman is ridiculous, and so is Shazam.
Yeah.
Shazam is great. Shazam's the best
I
DC
thought
movie.
Shazam was really good.
Yeah. But at one point, I want a more serious Shazam. Like if he
See, I don't.
see not just serious, but I feel like if Black Adam comes in, he can't fucking make fart jokes the whole time. He needs a fucking.
That's the character.
I hope they do the rated R Black Adam movie like they were talking about they might do. But then it's how do you cross over then? Like how are you going to bring Deadpool into the MCU is what everyone's wondering because it's hard to PG. But
just make the same one you did.
Beep him out. Like I don't know. Or just every time he goes to curse sounds.
you have to nerf him somehow.
You
But
just don't put the Disney moniker on it. You just keep it as
You have to.
it's.
If, he's saying like Deadpool in an Avengers movie.
He just won't. He just won't curse in those movies.
Kevin Feige said that Kevin Feige and the creator of Deadpool both said at some point he's going to end up in the MCU, but it's going to be PG-13. Like Kevin Feige, the only thing I don't like about him is he's so set on PG-13. Like there's a famous press conference.
Here's the thing: not everything in Deadpool's comics have been rated R. Deadpool has not been a rated R character his entire existence. I mean, I'm not hating on it. I didn't think Deadpool was a bad movie, but I don't think it was a hard movie to really make in a certain aspect. Just go in there and fucking be like.
Whenever you break the third wall, I don't think it's that hard, but I think it's great still.
Go out and say fuck and make dick jokes all night, and fucking they're gonna eat that shit up. And the only thing they could have done to fuck Deadpool up is not make Deadpool like they did the first time. They fucking made
the Wolverine
Soda's
movie. That was
mouth.
terrible.
Yeah.
I liked Deadpool 1 and 2. I liked Cable.
If they would have fucked that movie up, that would have been really hard to do.
I want
They
to see an
could've,
X-Force movie. Yeah, that's going to be good when they do X-Force. But like I was saying with Kevin Feige, like how he's stuck on PG-13, like the director for the new Doctor Strange got fired, and there's like a press conference where people basically predicted it was going to happen like a few months before. He's talking about how it's going to be the MCU's first horror movie, and it's going to be genuinely scary. And Kevin Feige keeps cutting him off. He's like, well, not too scary, and that's the only thing I really don't like about Kevin Feige.
Why not? You can have one movie that differs.
Yeah,
And Doctor Strange is such an awesome character too. His origin movie is very good. I thought they did it very good, but I would like to. Oh man, it's one of the
I've
best.
never been a fan of that.
I watched
character.
it in theaters and I watched it on Netflix again. It's a fun ride.
The more you watch it,
And I've
too,
still
the more
never
you
seen Thor
understand it.
Ragnarok.
What?
Oh,
I never watched Ragnarok either. Actually,
I seen the trailer and I was
missed
like,
it.
don't care.
It looks all right. I'm
It's
sure
good.
It's,
It's
pretty
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
think
good.
there's only like 2 movies that I didn't see in theaters was Captain Marvel and Black Panther. I've caught up with Black Panther on
I didn't see
Netflix.
Captain Marvel yet.
Captain Marvel sucks only in the sense that like you can't trash it without sounding like you're one of the alt-right trolls that are trashing it for the wrong reason because of her politics.
See,
But
I
her
like
acting is really bad. Like her acting is awful, and it's like I don't disagree. I don't.
See, I heard
necessarily
people tell me that
disagree with
Michael B.
her.
Jordan's acting was horrible in Black Panther, and I thought he was one of the best.
He was
villains we've seen.
he was one of the best villains in the MCU. So that's crazy.
Oh, he's
but
Killmonger.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know his real name.
Did you
I thought
ever
he was good.
see the Turkish Batman?
Oh God, no, and I never will.
Someone bends.
No, that's the Italian
Oh,
Batman.
all right. Well, the Turkish one is like just as good.
Yeah.
Tony and I are gonna watch the Italian Batman.
Yeah,
one.
we're gonna-
Holding hands on the couch.
Yeah, we're gonna jerk each other off.
Oh my God.
Hey, speaking of talented directors, did you hear Steven Spielberg's daughter's going in the porn?
Yeah, I
She's
heard
ugly,
that.
too.
Howard Stern, really?
Yeah,
Wait,
she's
what?
ugly too.
Yeah.
She looks like, so you know who she looks like? If you ever watch Black Lightning, she looks like the villain from Black
Really?
Lightning. Yeah, the albino villain.
Oh,
Yo,
boy.
could you imagine how the quality of that porn's gonna be?
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 10-camera shoot, I think.
Yeah,
What if her dad helps to direct it?
She's like, it's like going to be like just like her, basically, like
Oh, just
playing
playing
with
with herself,
Yeah.
No one-
It's so far,
Is she Stephanie Spielberg?
Yeah, nobody wants that.
that's like
Spielberg.
that's like when Lawrence Fishburne.
But I also saw that they're doing another Indiana Jones movie too.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard rumors that they're trying to get Chris Pratt to be the new Indiana Jones.
I heard that a while back. I don't know how true.
I think like
it is.
Harrison's going to be in it, but just kind of like
Dude,
Passing the torch. or
If what's his
something.
name
like how Lou Ferrigno was in the Hulk.
Yeah.
As a
yeah,
security
like
guard.
not like
if
a
what's
little
his
more
name-
than a cameo, but like kind of not the main character.
Yeah, if what's his name didn't lose his mind and kind of go back,
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, I kind of was digging that whole Shia LaBeouf.
I forgot he was
being-
in that. I forgot
Yeah,
about
They
that.
were trying
Yeah.
to pass the torch to
Yeah,
him.
kind of.
He's coming back to normal though. I want to see his new movie. I don't know if you saw that yet, but he plays his dad. Like it's his life story, but he plays his dad. Like how
Wow.
abusive he was, forcing him into show business and stuff.
Wow.
It looks really awesome. It's going to be good. But the one movie that did it perfectly, that like how Harrison Ford could fit in pretty nice, was like the Star Trek movies where they brought back
Star
the old-
Wars?
No, the Star Trek movies with Chris Pine.
Oh,
They brought back in some of the old Star Trek characters to be like mentors. They
Yeah.
did that really well.
Oh yeah, like Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, they did that really, really well.
well, then they kind of died off because J.J. Abrams stopped doing them because he went over to Star Wars.
Right, J.J. Abrams was phenomenal. His Star Trek movies, for anyone that didn't see them, are really, really good.
I watched
Yeah.
the first one. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know hardly anything about Star Trek.
Yeah, so
I'm not-
same
I'm
here.
not a
I don't.
Star Trek fan,
my
but
dad's
I
a
thought they were,
huge.
I thought they were
Star Trek fan.
fun. They're fun movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's a huge Star Trek fan. I'm not really, but I recognize the characters at
Yeah.
least as the mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that Benedict Cumberbatch was going to be was a younger Khan in one of the newer Star Trek movies.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not.
I didn't see
He's
that
so
one.
good as Doctor Strange. They cast it. He's like the RDJ of the Doctor Strange role. He plays it really well.
Yeah, I really liked him big time as Dr. Stephen Strange. Yeah. Definitely good.
I watched part of the movie, but it was like I didn't see it in the theaters, and it was on Fire Stick, but it was the Korean subtitles. I'm like, I can't.
It's one of
Korean
I can't stand this.
No wonder why.
It's one of them that's like so like complex because it's a complex character that
Yeah.
you have to watch it more than once. But if you watch it, like even
Nope.
if you watch it like back to back, like you'll pick up intricacies that you didn't. The
The
first
special
time.
effects are awesome. Like, and
Yeah.
then the quality of the stream I was watching, I was like, I can't. I'll watch it when I get the DVD. I never did.
It's
Zero
worth a
interest. Especially you not have to watch it twice. No way.
Well, you don't have to watch it twice.
That kind of fits in like the psychedelic vibe that Doctor Strange actually had with like the magic and all like that universe.
Yeah, it's very
stuff,
true.
too, which
It's
is
very-
really neat.
For a comic book movie, that in my opinion would have been the hardest adaptation, and that's the one they got the most right, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Thor Ragnarok, I watched the trailer. I was like, oh, this is the Planet Hulk movie they wanted to make, but can't.
Yeah, they can't.
Yeah, because they can't.
So there's
it's weird.
Universal
Weird, right?
has to
Yeah,
write.
isn't
So,
that
so
weird?
just take this Planet Hulk character who is a fucking absolute monster beast and he's willing to kill everyone and throw some funny Thor jokes in there because when I think Thor,
That's not what Ragnarok's
when I think
about.
Thor,
Yeah.
I think funny Thor.
Well, how many Thor comics have you read?
None. But,
So?
but everything I've ever seen of Thor is fucking, oh my goodness, from the gods of who didn't.
That's how he talks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and him being
That's
like
Thor,
I don't
man.
know, like they just
then
made
you
him a
don't like
su-
Thor.
They just made him super comical, and
But that's what he is.
he's
Yeah,
funny in the
it's-
books.
Yes.
No.
Ragnarok is
Thor
awesome
always
too.
talks like a guy out of a role playing game.
But then he tries to be funny a lot.
Yeah, because he thinks he's something.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Thor.
He's
See,
a goof. Yeah, I don't.
Ragnarok is very good, and it's not very much about the Planet Hulk thing that you think it is. That's not a huge plot line. I mean, it's he meets the funniest character on Planet Hulk who stayed in the MCU, Korg.
yeah,
King
Korg
the
and-
big
and
rock
Meek, yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's the one that's playing the video games in our game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You Thor, would you yell at him?
And his scenes are so goddamn good in Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Ragnarok is hilarious.
I bought the Blu-ray. I never watched it.
It's good.
I just fell behind.
I think
his
another,
scenes are so
I
funny.
don't think I've seen Ant-Man 2.
I didn't see Ant-Man 2. I thought Ant-Man 1 was good, but like I don't
was
really
the
care
other
about the
one,
character
too.
too much. I like Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I love
But-
Paul Rudd. I just haven't seen part 2.
Yeah, I didn't see part. I would watch it.
Guardians
It's pretty
2 didn't get me the same way Guardians 1 did.
I thought it was good, but not as good as 1.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah. Guardians, the first one for me. Like every watching, I did watch it. I watched it like 4 or 5 times in the theaters.
I've
And it was like
seen
every
all of them
single
like 100 times.
It was like every single time it always got me on those same parts. And then like when I watched Guardians 2, it just like it tried way too hard. It really tried to really like
they were
shoehorn
setting up
some things.
so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're setting up Adam
That too.
Warlock. They're setting up like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Howard the Duck,
And-
Nova Corps.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest controversial one. I did not like Winter Soldier.
That's not that controversial. A lot of people feel that way. I think it's all right.
People
I
thought it was
didn't.
crazy.
I really like it.
I didn't like
it's
the
great.
plot.
And I didn't like Civil War.
I thought the plot twist came out of nowhere with Winter Soldier, which I didn't love. But other than that, I like it. I didn't like the villain, the computerized villain.
No,
Ultron.
no, not Ultron.
Ultron was booty too.
The scientist.
Baron
No, it's
George St. Pierre.
Armin Zola.
Amenzola.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zola. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
he's in the
Alright.
computer. It's the computer head. He's
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
the
yeah,
guy?
yeah.
His face used to be on his chest, and he had a little like dot head.
yeah.
I didn't love that.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the comic Armin Zola looks ridiculous.
Resident Evil 3's demo is coming soon. We get to play as Jill and get chased down by Nemesis.
Yeah, you can only be Jill in that game, I think.
Yeah.
For 3, right? Well, you can unlock Hunk then, I think, if you did something special.
Um,
I'm looking
yeah,
forward
so
to it.
They said the demo looks fantastic. Pokemon-inspired MMO Terrain will add 50 more monsters in 2020.
Did you see that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that's coming out on Switch? It's like
Yeah.
a tactical strategy RPG. I was like, what? It apparently comes out next month.
I guess-
Mystery Dungeon Red.
I
think
got
it's
some new
called.
stuff's coming to Overwatch if you're an Overwatch guy.
I never played it.
Ghost Recon's Breakpoint's new immerse mode delayed till spring. Man, I bought that game. I tried playing it, and I turned it off.
Just first person, or is that tactical?
It's a third person over the shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Xbox Games for Gold is announced. I actually can benefit from this because I don't have this game. Batman Enemy Within, the complete season, is going to be free.
Is that?
That's the second Telltale one.
Oh, okay. I played the first one a little bit.
Yeah.
They're more so you're watching a story, so I don't.
Yeah, you just
I get a little bored playing them because like I want to play a game.
The Batman one was a good enough story, though, that it kept me interested.
It seemed cool. It's just like
I tried to play The Walking Dead, all the chapters at once,
Yeah.
and by the end, I was like, I can never play one of these games. I had to take like a year off. Like, if you try to play more than one Telltale game back to back to back, you're like,
well,
this-
there's not much action.
Yeah, it just
It's
fucking
like a motion comic.
Yeah, you're bored.
There's a Guardians one too.
Actually, what was the one? The DC Vertigo comic, the Wolf.
Oh, yeah, The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah. Wolf
That,
Among
they
Us,
get that
yeah.
way free one from PlayStation. I
Yeah.
played a little bit. Like this isn't bad, but like yeah, it's not for me.
Shantae Hall of our Half Genie Hero game comes out. Castlevania Lords of
I
Shadow
like
2.
Shantae.
Shantae, yeah.
It's like side scroll.
Castlevania
That
Lords of
game's
Shadow
like
2
game, too.
and Sonic Generations are going to be the games.
Oh,
games
they're
for
free
gold.
for. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. I don't see Sony's on. Sony didn't announce theirs yet. I
I
guess
don't think.
Did you talk about like Sonic being the what is it like
top ranked video
highest
game movie.
grossing
How
Yeah,
about
I think we talked about that last week. Yeah.
Did you see that stupid news from that shit site? We got this covered. The Rock's going to be Tails. Like, come on, come on.
It'd be fucking
That,
hilarious.
I hate that site. They make up all their own shit. It's like, but people believe
It's
it.
like The Onion, right?
Because there's some people that just won't click on the article, or they just immediately believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is true.
Well, DeVito was initially supposed to be Pikachu.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
People were
Pretty sure
seriously
so.
actually campaigning for that and actually were petitioning for that too.
I would have liked it.
I'm sorry.
I thought it would have been funny.
It would have been a whole different. It would have been like a '90s like movie with like a CGI Pikachu.
Yeah.
That'd be.
No, speaking of falling for things, there's like a fake comicbook.com that gets shared a lot
Oh,
on
yeah.
Facebook, but it tricks you every time because it's just like comicbook.co or comicbook.com
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, Com's
So-
the real one. I think Co's the fake one.
Yeah, Co's the fake one, and then they also have comicbook.comus or something like
Yeah.
that, and it just looks like it always looks like it's semi-believable, and just I always see people sharing stuff like that. But that one always tricks me, so keep your eyes out on that one.
Yeah, always just click and give it a read and say
Streets of Rage 4 will have 4-player co-op.
It's got 4
Yeah.
player. Oh wow,
4-player co-op.
How about that? No, that's the first one to do that. None of the other ones did. They're all
Yeah.
2-player.
Oh.
And it just released their new character then too.
Oh, who is it?
He's like a guy from Dr. Zan. Like he has a robotic arm like Dr. Zan,
from
but he's like
from the third one.
yeah, and he's like a combination between like Dr. Zan and like Max the wrestler.
Okay.
He looks pretty cool. Like he has like a combination of like long like power moves and like long distance
I
attacks.
didn't see it. Look.
I could be wrong. I'm just kind of going off memory, just trying to. But maybe you guys read it, the full thing. I didn't get a chance to. So I guess PlayStation released some of their specs, and then Xbox had their dev kit specs or rumored specs.
Someone took a picture of the back, but then they said it wasn't a real picture.
Yeah, well,
so I just read that.
so they were going around. The big thing over the last couple of weeks was that PlayStation's going to be the new PlayStation actually be stronger than the Xbox.
Well, that's a given.
And then the new now, and an Xbox is like, I don't know where you got your stats from because what you were putting out there is not our system. And
Yeah.
I guess Xbox was like, well, here's some of the stats we're willing to release, and so I guess it's going to be
They'll probably release them at E3. I think.
Yeah.
If they want to put it out by holiday season, they'd have to release.
Yeah, so I guess it's still up to debate of what's going to be the more powerful. I know Xbox is like the most powerful.
I lost it after they stopped doing bits. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
teraflops.
couldn't tell you what.
I was just gonna say
PlayStation 2 and the fucking
I guess they're saying
Xbox
Xbox will have 12 teraflops, whatever that means. I'm sure
It means
really,
there's going to be a mechanical arm that comes out of
Yeah.
it, and it's going to
Jerks
jerk you off.
Yeah.
All I knew was 64-bit and then 32-bit. I understood that.
You're like Jaguar doing the math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the tech demos for PS5 yet?
No.
There's some like tech demos floating around. They show like load times for.
I did see that one. Yeah.
I mean, it's like astronomically faster. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, literally, like, what was it? Like Red Dead Redemption 2 loads in like 2 or 3 seconds,
Wow.
and like on the regular PS4, it's like over a minute or something like that.
See, I don't play a lot of games, but I miss the old loading times because I'm the like click start, like eat your Cheetos, scratch your ball sack a little bit.
Get
It's
ready.
just like, yeah, just get ready. And but like if you hit start, you're right there already. You just got to start shoveling shit.
man.
Yeah.
They showed like a lot of
Rush
like
everything.
graphical demos too, and then I see all this stuff floating around, rumors for GTA 6, but it's all like fan based, I guess.
It's all,
like
it's all
stuff,
fan theory right now. Yeah.
Did you see the fan theory? But it's really good, and I hope they do it. Of who they're going to cast for the Fantastic Four coming up in the MCU.
Yeah. What's his name? John Krasinski.
John
And his
Krasinski
wife.
and Emily Blunt. Yeah, I think that would be really awesome. I think that would be really good casting.
Who would your thing be?
Ooh.
Who would my thing be? What do you mean? They would be.
Like
they
who
would,
would
they
you cast as Ben Grimm?
Yeah, who would you be? Who would your Ben Grimm?
Big rock
AKA the
guy.
Thing.
Oh man, I haven't even really given too much thought to that, to be honest. But him as Reed Richard and her as Sue Storm would be really good. And then maybe
Would you make Ben Grimm? Because when Ben Grimm was not a human, when he was a human, he wasn't a huge, bulk, muscular dude. He was
kind
just
of. He was bulky.
I thought he was like
Like
around
a football player. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a huge juggernaut.
Yeah.
No, he was like this-
Like you wouldn't cast Dave Bautista to be him because he would be
Yeah, maybe
too
not that big,
He'd be
but
too overpowering.
You wouldn't have him look the same as Johnny Storm or Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
He'd be physically bigger than them. But he wouldn't be Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people
He's not this huge.
immediately think you have to cast like a big fucking
No.
monster.
I think you go with a nobody on that one. Like a nobody that
Yeah.
like actually like
High pitch Eric.
Yeah.
What about
He's big enough. He could be Mole Man.
who would you cast as your Doctor Doom?
It's Spray. I'm Kelly Clarkson. Dr. Doom, I don't know.
I hate the show, but I always think that this dude would be a good villain. But I always watch reruns, so I don't know what he looks like now. But Law and Order SVU, the main dude from that.
oh
I think I know who you mean, but
Yeah,
I
no,
never really
I know
watched
you were
it.
talking about. I just don't remember his name.
I'm gonna look him up really quick.
Yeah, I just think he would be a good villain.
I think, yeah, if Ben gets a picture, I think I know.
Ben's
who you
gonna look him up real quick.
He was in Superman movies. He played a soldier in the Superman movies.
Yeah, he always plays like a minor. I mean, probably he's a terrible actor.
mean. I don't know who, because I don't keep my, too up on new actors or who's hot or anything.
Christopher Maloney.
Can we see a picture of him? Because that name
Yeah.
don't help at all.
He's like a
Clothed
ball.
or
Oh,
unclothed?
no, that's not who I was thinking. I would
Christopher Maloney, that guy.
I would not cast him as Dr.
That's
Doom.
a
He looks
guy
like
from
I
He's
would say
also
him
on
as Dr.
Happy.
Doom.
Oz.
He's
Oh,
also on
on
Happy
HBO.
too.
He's in Happy.
Yeah, he's the.
He was on Oz on
what's
HBO.
happening?
It's the one where he tries to kill himself, and he has a cartoon rabbit. that falls.
Hallucinogenic. No, he's on like hallucinogen. Not hallucinogen.
He
He's
tries
to
hallucinating
kill
on
himself.
like on with a unicorn. That's that his
Is that
half
the one with
daughter.
Elijah Wood is a
daughter
dog
sent.
or whatever?
No, it's a unicorn.
No, that's Wilford.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know Happy.
Yeah.
I would not cast that guy. I don't like how he looks.
I just think he'd be a good villain.
Yeah, he'd be a good villain.
Yeah.
Maybe not Dr. Doom, but
Not
like
Doctor Doom, no.
Mole Man.
The guy from Nip Tuck was a cool looking Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
yeah, until
liked him.
until like he was Dr. Doom. Like I liked him. He was okay.
You know who'd be a dope Doctor Doom, but he's too short. But I just think his acting ability would be fucking fantastic. Edward Norton. I just like him as
movie
an
magic.
I just like him as
He
an
burnt
actor.
his bridge with the MCU though. But
I kind of wish they didn't do Michael Fassbender. Fassbender.
you know who might be cool is
Yeah.
Johnny Blaze is Emil Hirsch or however you say his first name.
Okay.
I heard the name.
Yeah.
Can't put a
Why
face
does that
to it.
sound? Why does that sound familiar?
He's in one of the movies that I just watched that I'm going to talk about. This Freaks movie. Oh, my phone's probably dead because it's fucked up right now. But
Did you guys talk about the new Samsung phones?
No, I refuse to look at it because I'm so depressed that I bought this brand new.
What do you have?
I have the S10 Plus.
Oh, that's what I have. Yeah. So there's like
Three of
the
us do.
they're not 10 anymore. You know that, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's like
S20.
20.
Yeah. So there's
They
like
jumped in.
there's
10 times better.
S20,
Oh.
S20 Plus, and S20 Ultra.
Fuck them.
They all have 5G.
14 cameras.
Yeah, well, the Ultra has like 102 or 108 like
That's him.
digital zoom.
Oh, that guy. Now, who would you want him to be?
Johnny Blaze.
I can see that. How much is the new Samsung phone? $1,000.
The lowest one is 1,000.
Wow.
It's $999, $1199, and $1399.
Jesus.
But like the big selling point on the Ultra is like the camera. It's like super crazy.
Oh, okay.
And they're like the Ultra is like 6.9 inch screen. So it's like bigger than a Note 10. It's like a pretty big phone. It's pretty deep too because of the camera on the back and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm
probably gonna stick to HTC, but I'll have to. I'm gonna be in the market for new phones.
may get one. I don't know.
I don't like phones too big. Like this is big. I have the iPhone, whatever this is. I don't know, but that's big enough for me. Like I don't need anything bigger because then I'm like can't put it in my pocket.
But I think that
Comfortably,
the
yeah.
phones they come out like on the 5th of March.
There's a phone that I want that I'm probably going to be in the market for very soon because mine's like dying off the charger very quickly and the power button's broken, but it's a HTC U11. It has soft edges on the side. It's not too big. I've been looking at that one. I like HTC phones.
I
a
also
lot.
looked like 5G, like on I'm Verizon. If you guys have AT&T, I can't tell you, but
I'm Verizon.
I know on Verizon's network. I looked at the map for 5G. It's not even like in Pennsylvania
Oh, boy.
at all. Like not even in
Wow.
Philadelphia or
I have
and it's
5G with AT&T.
I get it different places.
Where the fuck was I when I got 5G? It wasn't even that far away.
How
Some
can you
places
get
are
5G? You
surprising.
can't not on that phone. You can't get 5G.
It shows up on the top of my screen. It says 5G.
That phone doesn't have 5G.
Well, I guess it was available in that area because I was somewhere and right where the antenna was, it said 5G.
Yeah,
We were
they
way out.
don't have 5G, but
Harrisburg, I think.
what was I going to say?
Might have been.
Even like on the map, like coming up, it doesn't even show like Pennsylvania. It's like
Oh, boy.
next up, you know.
Verizon pisses me off.
So I don't know how long it's going to be until like 5G comes in the area.
Verizon really.
Are we all going to die from it? Is that what they're saying?
Well, it's different because like it's more of like it's really really fast, but the range of it is not as good as like 4G.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like with your network at home, like the 2.4 and the 5. Like it's the 2.4 is like you can get it more places, but the other one you can get faster if you're closer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like along those lines.
So what are we playing? What are we reading, watching? So are you, Andy?
I'm going to say 5G is this rumored DC thing where everyone ages at the time in which their comic came out. So Batman died a long time ago and he has replacements. And that's one of the things that they fired that Dan Didio over. So if you think about it, Batman came out, what was it, 1949? So Bruce Wayne died in the 60s, and then there's been like 2 more. I'm like, this is a terrible idea. So that's
It's like they killed Paul McCartney in the Beatles.
Yeah. So I don't think it's. I read the new Wolverine issue. It was pretty good. He fights vampires in it, but it's weird. It's $7.99, but it's thick because it's 2 issues, and one ends and it starts another one. Like, why isn't this just 2 issues? Like, why did you put 2 together and sell for $7.99? But it was pretty good. And I also played Super Lucky's Tale for Switch. It's the Super Edition, and it's fantastic.
Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah, you're this little fox guy, and he has a cape, and he can hit things with his tail. It's like Banjo-Kazooie or Mario 64.
It's
Is that
funny
it
name.
is a platformer then.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
exactly like Banjo-Kazooie. Like that type of gameplay, and he can dig in the ground and like tunnel and stuff.
That's cool.
And the cats are the evil kitty litter, they're called. and they trap him in this book, and that's where the world you explore, because you try to get out of this book. We can get different outfits and stuff.
You lost medieval cats.
Yeah. Yeah, I like cats, but they're the bad guys in this. So you're the little fox guy.
You just kill all the cats.
Well, then there's all other goofy monsters, but the graphics are really good.
Fuck around and kill cats and get a documentary.
Serial killers.
Yeah. So Super Lucky's Tale, highly recommended. Apparently it was out on Xbox and maybe PlayStation, but then they added more to it.
It's on Xbox and the Switch, I know.
Yeah,
definitely.
the Switch is like the Super Edition where they added more.
Yeah.
So that's why I played. I didn't watch shit. I didn't get a chance.
I've been watching a lot. We switched over to Service Electric cable internet, so it's like a lot faster than the last thing I had. So I've been on my illegal streaming sites, streaming everything I want to watch. I watched. The one thing, just for a second, the one thing that pisses me off about Verizon is Verizon releases super fast FiOS internet, but they barely give it anywhere. Like, I think the only place in PA they have it is Philadelphia. But
Wow.
yeah, it's super cheap and it's like ridiculously fast. It's fiber optic internet.
I have Service Electric. That's all St. Clair can get.
Yeah.
That's my only choice.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I was surprised by how good it is. So I've been watching a bunch of stuff. I watched that series of Stephen King's son, The Lock and Key.
Yeah, what'd you say?
It lived up to it. Yeah, it lived up to the hype. It was good. It's an interesting story. It's definitely different. Like, and the child actors in it they're really good.
Yeah.
It's really well acted.
I read the first 2 trades and the whole like sticking the key, especially in the back of his head and stuff, and like all the different dimensions.
That's a little corny. Yeah,
Yeah.
The key thing is a little corny. I have to say that, but other than that, it's pretty.
That's something I think works better in a comic than in real life, because I just stick the key. And
the graphics aren't that great because it's like season 1, so you can tell the budget's not that high yet. So some of the graphics are a little bit.
But it makes sense, like when you open doors to different places or coming out different places in the house.
Right.
Stuff.
Yeah, especially because each key has a special power.
Yeah.
Not to give away too much, but each key has a special power, and the one's called a head key, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then some of them are a little corny, some of them aren't. The villain in it is pretty good though, and then the child actors are really good in that. And then I watched on series. I watched that show Evil, which I think is worth a one-time watch only because of how strong it starts. It doesn't. The second half of the season isn't that great, in my opinion. Some people love it. I didn't really like it though, but that's a good show too. That's about it's a priest who takes hallucinogens to see God or whatever.
Wow.
And he investigates supposed paranormal activity for the church, and he calls in this female skeptic who's like a psychiatrist for the courts, and then a resident skeptic, this Indian dude. That shows it starts so strong, but then the second half. So what happened with the show is they originally only ordered so many episodes, but it was so popular that they forced out the second half of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And you can definitely tell they did it because originally it was only supposed to be a web show for 7 episodes, and then they put it on the main network, and then they added 7 more episodes to it. So that's so it's sort of like there's too much going on into it, but they clearly want the show to stick around because they're setting up so much, but they're setting up too much, and it's like they're not answering enough questions from the first half that made it so good.
Is it basically like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag that they're doing at this point?
It's not that to the point where it's that bad where you would call it shit, but
no, I'm not.
Just,
I'm just.
There's just like some of the episodes
too much into one thing,
right? Yeah. It's some of the episodes are really disjointed. You could tell that there was like a good premise there, but it was forced out, like kind of thing. They didn't have time to really edit it properly.
Yeah.
So but it's unfortunate, but it's definitely worth a watch because of the first half of the season. And I think when the second season comes out, when they have more time, more of a budget, it's more popular. I think it would be a little bit better. So that's good. And then I watched a bunch of sci-fi movies. The 2 that were the best were I Am Mother, which is about this girl who's raised in post-apocalyptic times by a robot, and she thinks she's the only person on the planet, but then Hilary Swank shows up and she's like, you're not the only person on the planet. And it's sort of...
Let's fuck.
Yeah. And it sort of makes mistrust between the girl and the robot mother, because she calls her mother or whatever, 'cause she's supposed to be her robot mother. So
I think I might have saw previews of that. What?
it's on Netflix, but it wasn't for some reason, like some really good movies that come out on Netflix no one ever talks about. Like, this is one of the better sci-fi movies I've seen in a while, and I've never heard of it. Like, I literally had to find it. Yeah, I had to Google best sci-fi movies of the year, and then there was like ranked list. The one that's overrated, if you go the same route I did, was Annihilation with Natalie Portman. That's about, it's almost like The Fog, but it's not really. It's like The Shimmer, they call it, shows up, and they have to go inside the shimmer and figure out what's going on, why it's killing everyone. But that one was overhyped. But I Am Mother is really good. That's definitely worth a watch. And then the other one that was really good was Freaks with Emil Hirsch. He plays like this overprotective dad that keeps his daughter inside, and he never lets her go outside or whatever. He says that, like, the whole world's trying to kill them. And not to give away too much, but his paranoia turns out to be well-founded.
Wow.
And it involves, all I'll say is it involves superpowers. Some of them have superpowers, and the other people don't really like people with superpowers. So it turns into like the first half of the movie, you're just wondering what the fuck's going on, but it's good. It's a good wondering what the fuck's going on, because this dad is so overprotective and stuff like that. And then you find out slowly why, and then it branches off into this big story, and it's
like a
really
dive in, right?
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's based off a comic, but it sort of seems like it would be a comic
like
movie.
X-Men.
Yeah, it's like a story like that where they're forced in isolation for a certain reason. I think it's really good.
I never heard of either of those.
Yeah, I was surprised, because I'm like really into sci-fi movies, but I think what happens is the Marvel movies and everything have taken over that space.
And they kind of just totally, like, that's where all the tension is.
Right.
Because I was gonna say, aside from comic movies, I'd have trouble naming one sci-fi movie that came out.
And that's what based
not
on
that none did, but I just never heard of it.
Exactly, based on how I tried to find them, what I got is that Marvel's taken over the space so much to the point where they monopolize the market of advertising.
Yeah.
So there's so much pushed into advertising that these movies get no recognition whatsoever.
Yeah.
A lot of sci-fi gets clumped in the horror movie too.
Well, these aren't even really horror sci-fis. These are two that I really liked because they're true sci-fi. They're absolutely
it's not like
you can't call them anything else.
Slowly and like no.
Yeah, you can't call them anything else other than sci-fi, which is why I really liked the two of them. I watched some of them on the list that I didn't really care for, but
I think some people look at the sci-fi movie anymore. They see like a few seconds of it, like, all right, I'm done, and flip past it, or they shut the television off.
I think there's a bad stigma still around them.
Yeah,
like, oh, that's for losers and nerds, like Star Trek fans.
And now you would think it would be the least, at this point in time, where people are like, holy shit, a freaking sci-fi movie.
Well, while I do love the Marvel movies or whatever, I also love sci-fi, but you also have the people that are so into Marvel that they see like a lower budget sci-fi movie and they're like, what is this?
Yeah, this
crap?
is garbage. And they won't give a chance.
Yeah. But yeah, two very good movies, Freaks and I Am Mother.
Cool. What about you, Jason?
Speaking of sci-fi, did you know that like the guy who's like in the main Aliens costume is from Williamsport, Pennsylvania?
I didn't know
I think you did tell me this.
Yeah, I met him. He's a cool guy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you give him to lick you?
No, I got
Bite
him
ya?
to sign some of my alien figures.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I went back and I watched Chernobyl again because I really liked it when I saw it the first time.
Goes on HBO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very
Is it a
good.
documentary or a show?
No, it's a show. It's like five parts.
Is it based on the power plant?
Yeah, it's really, really
It's
good.
like a horror theme a little bit.
No.
Or what would you call it?
I wouldn't call it horror at all. It's like a documentary, but it really like exposes like how
They did make a horror movie based off Chernobyl where people went to go explore it and they found out like there was all these
Mutants.
radioactive mutant
Yeah, it's
zombies.
a found footage movie. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could kind of get on these I don't know, kicks sometimes where like I get fascinated with stuff. So I was like fascinated with Mount Everest for a while, like because there's like tons of dead bodies on Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So then
they actually use them as markers.
Yeah.
Not only that, I think it's like Mount Everest was like melting like the caps, and apparently they're finding more like dead bodies and all this trash, all garbage bags of trash.
Well,
and they're trying
Mount
to dispose of
Everest
it.
is like a huge like litter dump because they throw the oxygen tanks down and all that crap, like going up the mountain.
I'm going that way.
But yeah, Chernobyl's like really, really good. It's along the same lines of the Mount Everest stuff. I mean, it's a true story. It's fascinating. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating. I mean, it just destroyed so many people's lives because of the radiation and the way they were affected and the bursts, and like people got cancer, people who died right away from radiation sickness. But it's like it's a documentary. But
they didn't tell people right away, right? Like people lived.
No. I mean, it was like a huge cover up because it's like the Russians, and the Russians didn't want to admit. They didn't want help from the Americans. They didn't want help from. It was pride, like, and they didn't want people to know how bad they like fucked up. But they really fucked up.
It was
bad.
leaking, and they knew this town was affected, and they were just like, "We're not saying anything."
Well, like there were certain people who knew like right away, but it's hard to convince other people because they didn't want to believe that it was as bad as it was.
Yeah, and then people had to get up and like pick up and like move right then and there. Like, hey,
they were told to like leave everything, just like like they were going to come back. But it's crazy. I mean, because they have to like, they sent people in to like kill the animals and stuff. Like everyone's pets and stuff, they were to be shot and killed because of radiation and contamination and stuff. I mean, but it's really good. I mean, if you get a chance to watch it, it's on HBO. It was award winning. It's I think maybe 5 or 6 hour long episodes. But it's really, really good. I mean, like I said, I watched it once and I went back and I watched it again, and I really liked it a lot.
Yeah. I get on those kicks too. I get on the serial killer.
Yeah, I like that
serial
stuff too,
killer
yeah.
or murder stuff, like where it's like we're gonna go into a prison and we're gonna interview this guy who killed his wife.
Right.
And then they were just like talking to him like he's like a normal, like there's a normal.
Yeah.
It just fascinates me.
So I actually did get around to watching Don't Fuck with Cats, and I really liked it a lot. I mean,
I gotta take this. I don't know who it is.
Oh
My
boy!
phone's ringing. What is?
Whoa! It's someone for Ben. Is it for Ben?
Yes. That was funny that I really got to take this. Super important. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're calling about your car's insurance warranty.
Hey, dude, is your fridge loaded?
What did you hear? Well, like the when Ben, the guy called for Ben.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys.
No.
So near the end,
I'll pick back up on my story. Go ahead and tell me.
Near the end of Bangin' Beers, Tony gets a phone call, right,
Okay.
of this guy.
This is when we were recording.
And this is recorded the whole entire time. Tony picks up, he's like, hello? He goes, hey. This guy's like, hey, is Ben Craig there? He goes, Ben Craig? Who, Ben Craig? I go, what? He goes, yeah, I'm looking for Ben Craig. And here Tony plugs it in. And then he's like, hey, you're on the mic.
You're on live.
It was crazy,
you're on
yeah.
live. Who are you? He goes, hey, Ben, don't you remember me? I go, oh my God, it was my buddy from like sixth grade, like fifth, sixth grade that decided to call up Tony's phone number. And I'm like,
So,
what the
questions.
That would be cool if we did like a live question show.
When was the last time you seen this guy?
fuck? Oh my
Fifth
God.
grade?
Like sixth grade, like sixth. All right, I lied. It's maybe about like eighth grade.
Still, that's a long time.
Eighth
ago, 'cause
grade.
You've been out of high school for a while.
Yeah, so
And he just randomly gets Tony's. That's
ran-
weird.
Well,
When
Tony
we
had it
were
on-
doing the show.
That's really
Unless
weird.
he's listening, then we really like you and don't
Yeah.
But we weren't doing it live or anything,
Yeah,
so it was
so-
just like
Wow.
pure coincidental
Yeah,
that he had
Yeah.
called.
Hey, Tony, do you remember this guy from 10 years ago?
I mean, literally, he was sitting like right across. He's like, yeah,
That's a lot.
he's sitting right across the
I
table.
don't even
from me.
like people I haven't seen in 2 years going up to him. Like, let's avoid them. Let's avoid that conversation.
You just
Oh boy,
fucking
well,
goof.
Hit the button that. Whip, whip, whip.
Yeah. Oh well.
There's still
Man,
people.
this is a shit show episode right here. I'll tell you, taking calls,
We're winging it.
fucking the camera.
There's still people that come up
Jesus.
to me and they like talk about high school memories, like they're the fondest memories they had with me, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, and like I don't know how to say it. Like it's so.
Hey, you. You can't remember their name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fucking nutty. I couldn't believe it. Then I called him up. Then afterwards, and we were talking for like 3 hours. He's just like,
my
we're
God.
catching up. Yeah.
Phone sex and
So,
everything.
Yeah,
Let me tell
I
you.
know.
so you're dating now.
15 minutes on the phone. I'm done. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I have friends like that too.
I'm a chick. I
don't
like
wanna-
talking on the phone for hours.
Not me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched that Don't Fuck with Cats. I mean, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
So after I watched it like straight through, I was like fascinated. I couldn't like stop, watching it. So I watched it back after episode after episode.
No, it's a show. I thought it was like.
Oh, you don't know about
I
it?
have no idea what it is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a documentary where this guy puts up a video on like a live leak.
Yeah.
And the video is he has these 2 kittens and he puts them in a vacuum seal bag and vacuum seals it and kills them.
Oh, I
And
don't
then-
want to watch this ever.
No,
and
not
then,
me either.
then
I have
this,
no interest.
he puts it to this live leak. So this lady watches it and she's like mortified and pissed.
Yeah.
And then like they have this group chat. And they're like, yo, did you see this fucking video of this guy? So they start analyzing every frame of the video, like trying to find out like look at the bedpost. They look at the wall outlets, look at the doors, the switches,
Yeah.
and they're trying to pinpoint where this guy's from. So then this guy, I guess, kind of like infiltrated their group, and he's like, "You'll never fucking find me. Like, fuck you." Like he's like playing a game with them. So then he makes another video, and he takes a cat and tapes it to a broomstick,
Oh my God.
and then drowns it in a tub.
Why would anyone want to watch this?
Well, they don't show the videos of it happening. They show like clips, like just to give you an idea.
I don't want to see the tape going near the cat.
But the entire premise of the documentary is these people's resilience to try to catch this guy so he could stop doing this.
Yeah.
And they get it to the point where they like before the third video is even made, they get it to the point where they know who he is, they know everything about him, they know where he lives, they know everything. Send the police to the guy's house,
Yeah.
and the police are like, he said it wasn't him, so he left. 2 days later, he takes a video of a cat, and he's playing with it, and then he pulls a pillow back,
Yeah.
and there's a giant boa constrictor, and the
God.
boa constrictor just hits the cat and eats it. And they're like, you fucking pricks, like, here's these videos of this dude doing this, like, fucking stop this. And he's like, the cops will never stop me. So he's playing this whole game where he's being used by another person. Like, there's all these different twists and turns to this whole thing, and he gets to the point where he's like, yo, like, because you guys can't catch me, like, I'm gonna kill a human. Like, I'll kill a person.
I would rather watch someone kill people than kill
Yeah,
cats.
and he does. He ends up killing a guy, and then the cops are like, holy fuck, we need to find this guy, because then like this guy killed his son, and we found like security footage and stuff, and they're like, assholes, we've been fucking tweeting you for 4 years about this guy, telling you he was going to do this, and you wouldn't listen to us. And then they got to the point where they actually like tracked this dude down and get him.
See, I've learned about this guy from a different documentary about serial killers, and it was way more palatable because they didn't focus anything on the cats almost. They just said he started on cats, who's posting videos online or whatever, and then it moves on and it talks more about him going into murdering people. So
He only killed one person.
He got most of like it's even more fascinating than
It is.
that.
It really,
like some of the stuff,
like
like
the work they did to find this guy, and then like this dude was playing games with him to the point where like he was from like what, Russia? Well, he moved all over the place.
Yeah, like they ended up catching him in like
Germany.
like Germany or France
but
or something.
there was
like
a
that.
video he posted. Like, so this girl, the two people who were very involved in this search to find this guy were both using Facebook profiles, but had none of their personal information on it. They used completely private, hidden information. Didn't put their real names, went by aliases, did not even use photos of themselves on Facebook. And this guy was so good at the internet as well. He posted a video to the girl and goes, "Look familiar?" And he took a video of himself in the casino she works.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, it was very like the guy who did it. It was very pre-calculated, like the way he did it and how he did it, and like the methods he followed to do it is very interesting. Like, I mean, he's very cunning and calculated in the way that he did it.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting documentary.
So you said you saw the video of the snake, right?
I actually physically seen that video, yeah.
I seen them all.
Oh, you actually looked for them?
I even seen the one where he killed the guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's fucking bananas, man. I mean, it's like, this is the thing, like, when something hits the internet, no matter if it's taken down or it's always there,
It's
because
there.
millions and billions of
Somewhere,
people have access to it. But yeah, I saw the cat ones. It's kind of like you know what I mean? Like, I don't like animal cruelty and stuff like, so the cat ones, I actually kind of just, sped through and watched certain parts of it and stuff.
Watch the full murder one.
I watched the full murder one. I mean, dude.
He stabs him like 52 times. Or
It's
something like that.
fucking not. I mean, it's not like high definition, You can totally tell what the fuck is going on, I mean, he takes this fucking screwdriver and he rams it in this guy's chest. I don't like 50, 100 times or whatever. This video is like long. I mean, it's like 5 or 6 minutes long. I mean, he takes the guy's fucking leg and he cuts his leg off. He fucks his corpse. Like, it shows him like he's on top of him with his legs cut off. Like,
Really?
yeah. I mean, he has his pants on, but I mean,
Still.
he's still he's obviously
humping,
doing.
yeah.
He takes like a fucking wine bottle and he's like sodomizing him and. I'm just trying to think the crazy shit.
So they don't even tell you any of that in the documentary.
He takes like a fucking fork and a knife and he takes the guy's like ass cheek and he cuts it like with the fork, like he's cutting a fucking steak on a table, and like twisting it, and it like just doesn't want to come loose. But like, he actually like was eating the guy's like ass, and he like has his fucking head off of his body, spinning it around. I mean, it's fucking bananas, man. It's really crazy.
He cut the guy down to a torso.
Yeah.
He cuts both arms off, both legs, and his head, and I believe he cuts off his penis.
Well,
It's-
I don't know if
Jimmy, if you're doing all right.
that I can't
I-
verify the penis he
Because
cut off,
because
but-
they talked about it in the documentary, and what they end up finding each member of the bag like in a garbage
Well,
bag.
he
they
sent
found.
like the arm or the leg or something to someone.
a finger.
No, it was like a hand or
Oh, the
something.
hand. He sent
Oh,
the-
yeah, the other thing he does is I don't know why I'm laughing about it. I mean, you got it because it's just so fucked up. But he takes the fucking guy's arm and it's like cut off up to here, and he's fucking the guy's hands like this, and he's fucking masturbating himself, and it like shows like him like standing here, so you can see from here down with his like the guy's hand, and he's going like this, and then the fucking his dick's out of his pants, and he's doing it.
Jesus.
And I'm like,
No,
Wow.
He was a
thank you.
fucking
Yeah.
sick chick.
yeah.
And then he tried to say the whole time that he was being told he had to do this by this secret
Oh
person.
yeah, I can't remember what that guy's name
But
was.
it was but the whole thing was he was obsessed with the movie with Sharon Tate or not Sharon Tate
It was like Casablanca.
no it was
There
like
that.
he was
Basic
obsessed with that one.
Instincts.
The one where Sharon Stone
Crosses her, like,
American
Basic
Psycho.
Basic
or
Instinct.
some
Basic
of it.
Instinct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
So
was a
I just
lot
saw
of
it.
different
I'm sorry, I couldn't
movies
hear
that
this.
you
A lot of voices. But Basic Instinct, there's who's the guy that is like her love interest in that movie. It starts with an M, like Miguel or Mikel or something like that. But the whole time she kept saying the guy's name in the whole movie. It's not me, it's this guy. It's not me, it's this guy. And he was obsessed with Sharon Stone's character in that movie. And the same character name that she's saying that is the guy that's making her do all this is the same name he used.
But he did this all because he wanted fame. That's why he did it.
He wanted to get famous. And he got caught because some crazy random events where this guy was part of this Facebook group or knew of this Facebook group, and he worked at a fucking internet cafe.
Yeah, and he was in there like looking
And
at stuff
the
of
guy
himself.
the guy walked in and he looked at him and goes, holy fuck, that's him.
Yeah.
And then kind of followed him back there, and he was pretending he was cleaning and he was watching, and the guy went in the internet cafe and he was searching, like Google searching his name to see what people were talking about him and searching him, and he called the cops. He's like, yo, there's a guy in my internet cafe, you need to get here right now. He's this guy, and the people are looking for him.
Yeah.
And literally you see fucking the guy sat at the counter and he's like, please don't leave, and all of a sudden like 80 cops roll up in the front door, and he tries to run out the back and just realizes he has nowhere to go. But yeah, it was like he got caught in the craziest way, like just the power of social media.
It's a good like I guess series of that is a documentary.
Yeah,
That's karma.
The way they find, like the process they will go to find this dude is unfucking believable. Like what do they call it? DOSing, where people like DOS people to like
Doxing.
Doxing, where they like will find your entire information.
Well, did they talk about it? Because I don't have any interest in watching it. But did they talk about his connection to the deep web? Because I know a lot of his crimes were based off stuff that is like it's sick. But there's videos on the deep web. You can go on. It's called the Onion Router. It's called Tor. You can go on Tor and find the most fucked up things.
Yeah,
ever.
Well, that's where he was uploading a lot of it to LiveLeak.
Yeah, well, LiveLeak is a .com, but Tor is completely different. So for anyone that... We should do an episode about the deep web. So for anyone that doesn't know what deep web is, .coms are less than 10% of the internet. There's what's called the deep web, which is Tor, and that's the other 90% of the internet. And
you can't access that from a regular web browser.
No, you need it's called the Onion Router, and you need a system that's well protected, because people on there will act like they're chatting with you or something, and they're hacking your webcam, they're pulling up your financial information. Like, I don't want to make it sound like the deep web is totally unsafe to go on, but if you go on some of these sites that have this fucked up stuff, or like black market sales, like a lot of people use Tor to buy weed online, like they buy weed and they get it through the mail. They use Tor, so like a lot of that stuff, that's why. So people wonder why Bitcoin is so popular. Bitcoin is so popular because this website on Tor called the Silk Road used Bitcoin to move the stuff, and it was like drugs, weapons, like all kinds of crazy shit, and that's why the
sex
Bitcoin,
trafficking.
Yeah, it's you could literally, like, it's fucked up, but you can donate, like, you can go watch live feeds of people committing like heinous crimes like rape or murder, and you can tip them Bitcoin to do whatever you want. Like, it's almost
kind of like fucking Hostel.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's literally, there's sites on the deep web that are literally like Hostel, where you can pay to watch a murder. Like, there's so much fucked up stuff on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I
no
mean
interest in that.
That's not all the deep web, but the documentary I watched, I forget what it's about, talked about his obsession with the dark web, and he wanted to be like the darkest of the dark. So but it was it's fucked up, man. We should definitely do an episode about the deep web, though, because it's not all that stuff, but it's definitely, that is very real on there. You got to be very careful what you click on the dark web.
Yeah, but it's interesting to I mean, if you can get past the cat thing, which I'm telling you, they don't go into detail and show the craziness of it.
Even if he was doing it to people the whole time, it's still not something for me.
But it's really just the work that these people did to catch him, and like took time out of their lives to say, like, because this guy was like, fuck you, you won't get me, and this guy, like this one dude who was like the mastermind behind it, was like, all right, asshole, like, I'm gonna fucking I will dedicate my life to find you, and he did. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, the Chernobyl's is definitely more of like it's not a documentary.
Yeah, it's a
like
show.
Like actual actors and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
Where this is just all basically like a documentary interview with different people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I just like because I was so interested in it and so fascinated with it, I figured, well, I'll go look at this shit. You know what I mean?
You found the.
I mean, you know, like I
took the extra step.
Yeah. I don't know, whatever.
I hope it cleared your web browser.
Well, yeah.
He's the only one that uses it.
So anyways, yeah.
Wonder what he was doing. Like, what the fuck? Why is this guy jerking off with an arm?
Yeah, it would, like, I don't know. It's just like, you know, you hear about that stuff all the time, like real snuff, shit on the internet and stuff like that. And I mean, that was out there, like, all over the place, you know. Yeah. I mean, it was, like, heavily circulated. And, you know, I don't know how many thousands.
I think I seen the cat. I think I seen
people.
the snake and the cat one on Facebook. I think someone had a weird thing on Facebook, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I seen it, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, how was this on Facebook?"
Yeah,
it got taken down. But
I thought that stuff would be like on that Live Leaks, but it's not.
No, Live Links got really
none of that. Stuff
Live Leaks used to be like Wild West, where you could put anything on there. Like, I remember Live Leaks, like people were like, "Oh man, that like they beheaded that guy," and I was like, why do I want to watch this? But I want to watch this, and it was on Live Leaks.
You know, it's funny though, like because on YouTube and stuff, I saw like people getting stoned. You know, which is, I mean, I've seen that, which is pretty fucking crazy.
I watched it on Faces of Death. That was nuts.
Yeah, you know, so like there is a lot of stuff out there. If you look, it's not really that hard to find. But I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to see how fucking depraved it was, and it's it's deplorable.
fucked.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's really
this dude will die in prison.
You know,
and then they'll bury him under the prison.
well, yeah. That's the thing. He did get like life in prison without the possibility of parole for like 25 years or something like that.
Yeah, he's a fucking sick tick. And his mom is convinced it wasn't him.
Yeah. She thinks this other guy was like involved. Like
She thinks this Miguel guy. Or whatever.
yeah, he was like I mean, it's crazier than that because like he was like a porn like actor too. He was like a gay porn actor, and I mean, there's just so much more. It was just like totally fascinating.
And a prostitute.
Yeah. I mean, but
Because that's how he got the guy to his room.
yeah, like you know, like I watched it once. That was enough to say I saw it.
I'll tell you what, though, there was really one interesting thing that the mom said, and I was like, oh, fuck. She kind of has a point where she's like, he wasn't alone. And I was like, listen, lady, he was fucking alone. Like, no one would fucking help a guy do this. And the one video when he's taking this, like, when he has a snake in the tube, like, and he's petting the snake, there's his hands holding the snake, and another hand is in there petting the snake.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And it's like a darker skin tone. And I was like,
when I'll save it for the deep web episode, but there's stories of people being controlled on the deep web, like just getting freaked out, like going on for the first time to experiment. And then some people, like one of the stories I know about is this woman tried to hire, and unfortunately you can do this on the deep web. A woman tried to hire a hitman to kill her husband on the deep web with Bitcoin, but she only paid him half of what she was supposed to. So he like started sending her stuff like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna commit these crimes to incriminate yourself, just so like it's really messed up. And then there's another one where a guy like really did hire a hitman on the deep web, and the hitman showed up to the house to kill the wife, and the wife killed the hitman.
Wow.
And then they like figure out the whole
Not a
thing
good
where
hitman.
he hired her.
the wife was a badass.
The
So
wife was a separate hitman.
Yeah.
You came to fuck on me?
Yeah.
See, I know the stuff like he's talking about, but honestly, and I can say this with all like sincerity, I've never gone on the deep. I have no interest in going
neither.
on.
Yeah,
I
zero
mean,
interest.
there's nothing like there that I would want to
No, and
have
that's
part of or anything like that. And I mean, I know it's like all different, you know, it's like a lawless land is what it is.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what's unfortunate about the deep web is so many fucked up souls have taken it over, because it's literally, there's good things that the deep web does. Like, so a lot of the stories that you hear in the media that come out with official government documents, a lot of people don't know this. You go on tour.
WikiLeaks.
Yeah, well, you go on through Tor, and all the major media companies have their own Tor site, and you can send them completely anonymous government documents. Like, you can send them anything you want, and then they can investigate it. So, like, somebody that is wanting to expose something can take all the documents they have, go on the Tor browser, go on the Washington Post or something, and send them everything and just expose it. And then there's supposedly like real government documents that get leaked on there, but you have to be really careful, because some of the fucked up things that happen on there, like you'll be on like an online black market site just trying to get something like innocent, like a prescription you can't afford or whatever, you can get from India for significantly cheaper on the dark web. So somebody will be on there trying to get that, but then they'll click on a link and it will be like child porn or like selling children. Like, it's like, you got to just be really fucking careful what you click on. And I haven't gone on in a very long time, and when I did, I went on a secure browser with my buddy, and we were just like, we were scrolling through some stuff, like more looking at the Silk Road, because the Silk Road was where they named it after Pokemon or whatever. The Silk Road, they call it the Silk Road, and they were selling like grenade launchers. Like, you could buy like just insane shit on this.
Where the fuck do you ship that to?
So it's like, and they get
Address.
and like they get,
Because you don't
like,
put your real address on the dark
Well,
web.
I mean, you wonder how much like is like real and not real. You
the
know,
Silk
like how
Road
many
is completely
people
real.
are just like on there to take your money.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Just
Like,
still might never send you anything.
Yeah.
They were shut down so many times because that's how like people were moving heroin through it. Like, that was really how it exposed it. And like I said, I'll go deeper into it in the deep web episode. But
sounds like an interesting.
Super
Other than that, though, I played Samurai Showdown, which Ben played a little bit of on the Switch, in which kind of pissed me off as like that's been out in they had like an Asian release of that, or it was released in Asia, and it is all English, and it's been out since like before Christmas, and it just came out in the United States like sometime in February.
Oh wow!
So it's cool. I mean, it's a little slow. The characters moving and stuff. I'm used to more of like the snappiness of a Street Fighter.
Yeah,
or more
it is more.
This is like even
slow-paced.
compared to like the old Samurai Showdowns,
Yeah.
like they were fat. This one's kind of like the characters when they jump, they kind of float a little bit. It seems, like
okay.
it's almost like a.
like
I wish it was like 2 or 3 times faster than it actually is.
if it had a turbo mode.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's cool. The graphics are great. The game's cool. Characters
It's a lot
are cool,
user
but-
friendly too.
Yeah, I just
like,
wish it was faster.
Instead of
the
having
gameplay.
that steep learning curve, I was telling like Jason and Tony last Friday, where you have to like kind of time your moves and you pick your right moves where you're going to slash and all. You can't necessarily hit like the super strong move every single time. It's going to lose its potency. And then like a regular stab would have more potency than too.
More
Like,
strategic than Street Fighter.
yeah, but this is more geared towards like your Street Fighter
okay.
type, but with swords kind
I
of.
like that guy with the gloves, and he was like an Onai with gloves.
Oh yeah, I know who you're
forget
talking
his
about.
name. He
The
was
green
the
guy.
first one, and he had
Yeah.
like red hair or something.
Oh, and that's not the guy I'm thinking. I was thinking of
Because there's one guy with like the
claw. Or
the claw,
whatever.
like
He's like
the
a
fr-
hunchback.
not the
Freddy
big
Krueger,
claw. He
okay.
has 2 gloves and like red hair. I'll find
I'm
it.
trying to think of which one that is. I can't think of it.
So Ben, what have you been into?
I've got mortified about all that disgusting stuff. I just don't feel like talking.
I feel bad that I even admitted I watched that video.
I'm just like, I'm done. I got turned off by it.
That was hard to listen to for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No,
I
it's not
got
like
it.
it's not like I saved
it's-
it or anything, and I'm like watching every
Listen,
night
it does-
before I go to bed
It
or
doesn't.
something.
It doesn't really bother me because I remember being fucking 6 years old and sneaking face to the death out of a video store. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you also can't like deny that stuff like that happens either. You can't live in your own fairy tale for
No.
too long. Like the deep.
No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Is this geared because I just got a little mortified about
No, I'm
this?
saying
No.
for me even.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean-
I was uncomfortable
Well,
listening
like I
to
said,
it, but you can't pretend it doesn't
when
happen.
Faces,
You really can't.
when Faces of Death came out, I thought all that stuff was real. You know what I
So
mean?
did I.
It turned out later that it wasn't. But with this,
When you're still a kid and and you have in your mind that I just watched this real stuff, you're kind of desensitized.
What was the site that was real though? That showed really like suicides.
Rotten.com and stuff.
Something
Well,
like there was some like that showed like suicide.
in
by
like
shotgun.
I remember
Mexico
Rotten.com,
and stuff, they
yeah.
have magazines that are like that. All it is like death
Yeah.
pictures of people mutilated and all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
if you get well, like I haven't been on for a long time because of like the trolls that took it over or whatever. But 4chan has like wrecked threads all the time, and it shows like crazy accidents or like people getting hacked up or stuff.
Yeah,
like
see,
that.
like I just to clarify, because like I feel like I kind of put myself in a. I don't like sit around at home like
I get it.
looking at
Here's-
this
alright,
stuff,
here's
or
the
like
realistic.
searching this stuff. It was just like I watched this documentary,
And you're like, how bad is it?
I was like, this guy put this thing on the internet, and millions of people probably, or hundreds of thousands, or however many people saw it. It's got to be out there still. Let me see if I can find it because I want to see. Like, is it really
Just
that
making it real, yeah.
it's
I
just
get
like
it.
I gotta like the fast.
Curiosity.
It's like when you're driving past a car accident and you turn or slow down to see what's going on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like
You're slowing down because you want to see something fucked up.
well, you want to see what's. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel weird that I did watch it, but you
No, I
know,
get
like
it.
I said, it's
Curiosity can-
Yeah,
we've all watched something we shouldn't have online.
All right, so Ben, what are you into?
Well, I've been in the same game for how many years? No, I mean,
still
I was
playing
watching a
on
girl
Evolution.
get banged by a dog on the internet.
no.
See, I watched that guy get killed before. I have no interest in that stuff.
Penn's like, you guys are weird. So I was jerking off to a girl getting fucked by a dog.
Ugh.
But no, after a little while, I decided from watching the stuff that I was watching on Netflix, I popped in Sekiro again. Yeah, I know it's the same game, but I killed 2 bosses, 6 mini bosses. I practically got like how many of the sub weapons at this point in time. I'm at the 3rd boss right now, and he has 3 phases. Real premise of the game: you try and do death blows on the characters because your character's a ninja. And you try and break them down, and that's really the premise of the game. You grow stronger by getting beads, confronting memories, that kind of stuff. And it's more like a Dark Souls game, just to give Matt a little bit of a refresher of it. But it was pretty fun. Like, I've gotten to the point now where I can practically deflect anything and everything, and it's fucking wild how like when you hit a real deflect, like it explode, like the sparks fly a lot further and all.
Right.
And I'm like, I fucking got the one guy. I'm just like, he has like these claw hands and he's just like going, and I'm like, I hit like all 8 or 10 of his fucking moves. I'm like, I'm fucking halfway there. I'm done.
Like back when you used the sword battle in Halo, and if you hit it perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. But that's what I picked up on that. I was really enjoying that. I'm looking forward to Castlevania. That's going to be coming out March 5th. So that's going to be that's going to be the third season.
The show?
Yeah, the Castlevania.
I watched the first show. I couldn't get into it. Well, the first episode of the first season.
Yeah.
I couldn't really get into
But
it.
that's going to be on March the 5th. I'm trying to think. I was gonna post a whole bunch of Netflix stuff that's going to show up in March. So
Let's do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
First episode of the month. We'll all
Okay.
You worry about what's coming new to Netflix. One of
Okay.
us will get new video games released. Someone do movie releases.
Yeah.
And we'll do like what's coming this month.
Mhm.
We'll try to do that at the beginning of every month.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it then?
Yeah. That's
I don't know what I watched.
That's it.
I don't know what I did.
I have to really keep track of what I watch on Netflix and kind of maybe take notes or something because I watch stuff and then I forget I watched it.
I watched
That's
nothing
exactly
on
it.
Netflix. I haven't even watched the second episode of Sabrina yet.
I literally, you're exactly right. I watched something else. I watched a whole series of something else, and I draw a blank on it when I get here.
I bought a game.
Not to interrupt, but I do have a snacky snack for us.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We'll do the snack right after this, and then we'll jump into Ben's top. We'll do the snack and then Ben's topic.
All right.
not going to be very long either.
I bought
It
a
better
new,
be long.
I bought a new game.
Ben's like my
A
top,
nude game?
My topic
nude
is
game.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
I like that game. I don't care.
I bought Wreckfest.
Wreckfest.
Long load times.
Not super bad on the Xbox One X.
Oh, really? On PlayStation, it's bad.
Yeah. But they just came out with a patch to it too.
Okay.
That hopefully I don't know. So so Wreckfest is literally. Do you remember the old PlayStation 2 Destruction Derby video game? Like it's just all Destruction Derby stuff. So it's Destruction Derby. There's Destruction Derbies where you're just in an arena and you crash each other.
Yeah,
and
races.
And then there's Destruction Derby races where you could race and the whole purpose is try to take but it's not like arcade simulated. It's like kind of real, it's like Forza like realistic car racing.
Okay.
Well, I know. I love Burnout. Is anything like Burnout?
No, Burnout's
No.
very unrealistic. This game,
Yeah,
like
it's cartoony.
this game, if you can't just barrel into a corner, hit the gas, and
Next,
slide it
just
through. You have to.
smash,
You
yeah.
have to.
And there's also
Reverse and-
lawnmower destruction derbies.
Yeah, you've rested lawnmowers.
Oh, I think I did see something
my
about
God.
And
that.
it ain't
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff in, but you have to unlock everything. It
I
takes
got
a
the
while.
I got the deluxe edition because the regular edition is like $30 on
Okay.
sale. It was like 19, and then the deluxe edition is like 60. And it comes with the season pass, so everything new comes out, you get it. I got the deluxe edition for 45, so I was like, I'll just pay an extra. It'd be an extra $10, so I just got the deluxe. It's fun. It's a good racing game. I'm enjoying it.
You can really customize your car if you went into that at all.
No, I haven't.
You
Like to
pick,
make
like-
it faster and stuff.
Yeah, and you can pick like different air filters and
Yeah.
exhaust.
Yeah, I
and
did hear about this,
everything.
yeah.
It's
That's
fun.
crazy.
It's
cool.
really fun. And then it seems like one of those games that they're going to keep adding to for a long time. It looks like one of those passion project
It's
games.
not real polished though. Like it's not like
it looks
Gran
like it's
Turismo
still
or
like
anything like
somewhat development stage, and they're like they have it out and they have enough to put out there to keep you entertained, but they're going to keep adding stuff to it.
That's always good.
that. You can
that's-
eventually unlock RVs and have a destruction derby with RVs.
Yeah,
I was like, I want to unlock that. There's
Yeah.
a couple. There's
That's
two,
ridiculous.
There's some
And you
other
can race
wacky
online.
cars
Do
too.
Do you ever see that when they do that
Bumper
figure
cars?
eight racing
Yeah.
with the fucking boats? Like they have like they have
Or
like a
minivan,
trailer hitch
yeah.
on the back with like a fucking boat
that
on
actually,
it.
that
or
actually
something
happened.
Like
And
that.
Or
the game-
minivans.
the
Yeah, yeah.
The game doesn't actually
buses,
force you to have to
yeah.
win every race either. Like you will lose some races, but you finish
It's
it just to
kinda hard.
get,
I
to
mean,
get
I
the
played for about an
experience.
hour.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
But there's a race where I was winning the whole race and I was dominating, and it was a figure eight track, and I came across the middle on the last lap, and I came
Boom.
across, and I,
Yeah.
nothing I could do about it. I
Yeah.
got fucking hit here and here, and it just went, and it just.
And it has like a little health meter for your car.
Yeah,
Like, when it will start turning red.
they'll be like, "All right, your left wheel's done."
And it will say like
Engine issues.
radiator blown, oil
Yeah.
leaking.
Here's
and
a
stuff.
funny quick story. So the one time like out at the Lycoming Fair, I was out there, and my friend was like part of the fire department or something that put on like the demolition derby, So he got us like these special seats at the demolition derby. It's like we were so fucking close, dude. The fucking mud was flying up on me. So sitting there watching
that's
this.
awesome.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking die because one of these, someone up at the Bloomsburg Fair got fucking decapitated that one time. Yeah, like
Well, yeah,
during
people
that
fly up.
demolition derby.
From a demolition derby?
Yeah, and then they put like fences up and shit. I was like kind of scared, man. Like
And when something blows, I watched one in the Gratz Fair over by hit past Higgins.
yeah,
Yeah.
When the radiator blows, it's really loud, and then like, stuff just flies, and I'm like, "Holy shit!"
How many times the Bloomsburg helicopters crashed?
Yeah, I know.
They
Yeah.
still do it.
I don't think that's coming back this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
I
People
really
finally
don't,
died because it's like
I think
Well,
that's
someone
done.
died 2 years
It
ago.
was only $25.
Someone died 2 years ago. It didn't crash this year. They had an issue with this year, but it didn't crash.
Oh, really?
But people were sharing the article from 2 years ago when it.
No, it did crash this year. It lost control. Like,
didn't it hit a vehicle?
yeah,
but no one got
I was
hurt.
there that night. That
Yeah, okay,
happened.
Really?
But,
Wow.
but people were sharing the article from 2 years ago when the guy actually died.
Oh yeah, well he got like hit in the head
Yeah.
with the fucking
Yeah.
blade or whatever.
Someone
yeah.
fell out the one year, the other year
That's
that
like
crashed
Do
it.
you ever see fucking what is it, Dawn
I
of the
would never
Dead
get in
or
that.
Day of the Dead,
Dawn
where
of the Dead.
where the fucking guy stands up the helicopters
Yeah.
and like chops the top of his head off.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I finished Pokemon. I just finished the thing, got the legendary.
Yeah.
So I'm debating now if I'm going to go through and try to
There's
finish
a couple
the decks.
quests that you could do, and then you can go. There's new tower unlocks, and you can like do things to get coins to like
Yeah.
raise different stats for Pokemon. But once you beat the game, you're kind of like, everything's kind of very repetitive.
I actually deleted Pokemon off of my Switch, which gauges my level of interest.
There you
You
go.
know,
Yeah, I'm waiting for Animal Crossing. That'll probably be the only game I actually buy for a while. That's pretty much it. I really haven't played much. I want to jump back and get on the PlayStation soon and finish Spider-Man and stuff.
Dude, I gotta finish Luigi's Mansion.
I didn't start it.
Once
It's
that
just sitting in my
fucking
pile.
Pokemon and all that shit came out, I just like chucked that to the side.
Yeah.
And I had some good investment in that,
Yeah.
time.
So what snack do you got tonight?
Trolleys that are sour crunchy.
Now, when we eat, let's make sure we all mute our microphones so we're not smacking in the mics.
Well, does the guy mind crunching? Like, what if we have chips or pretzels?
I'm one of them, so I kind of mind.
I just wouldn't. What is that?
Is that peanut butter?
Nope.
Is it? Oh, it's chitlins.
It's cracklins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
What flavor are they? Barbecue or regular?
Dude, that's the homemade shit.
Wow.
That's not the fucking store
So
bought
I
stuff.
bought some off a guy.
Hold
is
up,
the
time
real
out.
shit.
What is this?
That's
fried.
like that when that guy cut his ass, and
It's fried pork fat.
it's basically like a pork rind. But if you like, do you
Sometime-
like bacon?
Sure.
Sometimes
Do you like
they're hard.
lardy These are pretty good. They're not very hard. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Smell it. It smells like bacon or whatever. It's gonna taste like a pork rind.
You got a hair.
There's a hair. Yeah. That's a good one. That's pig hair.
that's
it?
one of the
Yeah.
ass hairs.
Yeah,
it's
it's thicker.
authentic.
It smells like
So I've had these before. so.
cat food dog treats.
They're great, man. I love them.
It's probably the worst
dog
possible
treats.
thing you can make, and like
it's
it's very
What is that?
I'm doing this.
Come on, man. Just try like a little piece.
it's very lardy.
I'm a protein eater, so
That's just
He said it's not that hard. If I can't break it with my hands, there's no way I'm busting a tooth on it.
Where'd we go? Somewhere in West Virginia. There's a guy selling on the side of the road,
all right. Well,
and there was barbecue.
Just
he,
try
had,
a little piece, man.
he had barbecue,
Try a different
salt and
piece.
vinegar.
I should not have
hot,
smelled it.
Spicy.
I should have not have smelled it before I ate it.
You gotta try a little piece, man. Just try like here. Try it. This one's got some blood
So
on it. I think.
you ever eat a piece of bacon that's real fried, and you know the
Try
part
that.
that's just fat? The part that's just fat.
It smells so bad.
It's so good.
Can you fill this up, please? Water.
Oh sure.
Thank you, buddy.
I don't think I can do it.
I like when they're flavored.
I wish I didn't.
I'm the fucking goofball that got disgusted by
This ain't bad,
that
but I
stuff
like
when I ate
barbecue.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it needs flavor. That's
See, I'm good.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
It doesn't even have any flavor to it. It's
Yeah,
just like
I
a
just-
very like
yeah.
airy popcorn with no flavor and no corn
The
flavor.
smell got me. Smell grossed me out.
So what this is basically.
Did you make it?
No. It's the pig's skin, and underneath the skin, it's the pig's fat. And sometimes there's meat. That's why some of these pieces have like pieces of pig hair in it.
Like my piece did.
Yeah. So basically what they do is they take this and they press it into a cake. So when you get it, it's almost like a cake of, like it's a big flat
That's interesting.
piece of cake, and then you like kind of pick it apart.
It's very big down south.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
But like
Good
you
shit,
said, a lot of them get like flavor added to it.
Yeah, I like. We
The
got
barbecue
I got the
ones.
barbecue one. They were awesome.
Yeah.
And sometimes they make them more. like airy, like almost like a what's everyone's called?
Pork rinds.
Yeah. It's almost like that.
See,
Yeah.
I like pork rinds. Yeah.
I have a Ukrainian friend that likes to like cut pig fat and like chew on the pig fat.
I got.
I like pig fats.
I don't actually usually mind stuff like this, but I got a bad piece. I got a piece with a really soft piece of skin on it that I was not into.
Well, yeah.
I ate it and it was kind of plain tasting.
There's no real flavor to
Yeah.
it. That's the problem.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Ukrainian friend.
You
then,
weren't actually too far away by saying the guy that cut a piece of fat off a dude's ass and ate it. That's not too far off that.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes when you get these, they are like super hard. And the one time I got them, I was so excited, I chipped my tooth off.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that, the one that you wanted me to buy, I would.
Yeah, sometimes like
too.
at the ones we got at the bottom of the bag, like the real hard ones, like. I mean,
Here's a
we spent like
question.
$30
Here's
on
a
it one
question:
time.
How close do you think human flesh is to pig fat?
Very. They experiment on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
That's like.
Do you think if we ate a human, it would taste like a pig?
No, I think it'd be more
Probably
beefy.
not.
That's what I would just imagine. Who
Completely
knows?
different diet effect.
I'm just saying skin.
Not that I know a lot.
Oh, the
about it.
skin.
Like if we
yeah.
made this out of humans, it would. I think it would be really
Oh.
close to the same.
The texture of the piece I got disturbed me because all I could think about was the ass thing, and I was just like,
I tricked you guys.
Yeah, you guys all just ate humans.
That's all right. As long as it's not kittens.
the episode where Cartman feeds like the episode where Cartman feeds his bully his parents.
Yeah.
and the
Scott
chili.
Tournament or something.
Tenderman.
All right, Ben, what do we got?
Okay, so
Hey, first off, I want to be very proud of Ben. He's doing a topic tonight, and he didn't bring fucking 8,000 things.
Wow. Well, I have no idea. We none of us know what it is. So.
Yeah.
okay, so Off the Wall.
Off the Wall is an album by AC/DC in 1980.
It's also a band's motto.
I'm actually
Oh,
doing.
that's Fly on the Wall. Sorry.
I'm actually doing Joe Sinnott.
Okay. I know
Joe
he's from
Sinnott
comic.
was born in October 16th in 1926 in Sangerties, New York.
Ben, why don't you
He
tell
was in-
everyone?
Oh, hang on.
what he does first.
Hang on. I'm getting there.
That'd be like if I was like,
He was an inker in
you
the
go.
comic business.
There we go.
So
You mean Tracer?
Remember that Mallrats?
So an inker outlines the pencils since printing presses couldn't pick up pencils initially. So the main job was when the penciler would actually draw, somebody would actually ink the whole thing. They would print it, roll with it with the printing presses. Joe Sinnott was that guy. The guy basically grew up in a boarding house, and that was catered to school teachers, and he was inspired how to draw by them. And some of his influences had Batman, Congo Bill, Hawkman, and Zatanna. So he was influenced by DC characters.
Congo Bill?
I don't know who Congo Bill
I'll have
is.
to look that one up.
Sounds
Yeah.
like one of the racist characters they buried.
Yeah. Or it's like or it's like some talking monkey or
like
something.
like when they did the Doctor Strange movie, they had to change the ancient one
feel like-
because it was super racist.
Yeah.
I feel like that he might have been like maybe even like a Western character, because like that was like
Is it spelled how I would think it is spelled?
Congo, CONGOBILL. Yep.
He was the monkey in Congo Bongo.
Okay, it looks
Never
like
played that
he is like some type of safari guy, or it's the monkey. Oh yeah, the monkey's name is Kongorilla. So he's
Kongorilla.
he's like a
Hello there, peoples.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, he's a safari. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
he's like a
you said he's a
safari
safari guy.
guy.
Yeah, like in the wilderness. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like what's the guy who's Curious George?
Oh, the guy in the yellow suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
I wonder if that's their version of Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah,
because they
maybe.
mirrored characters.
yeah.
So kind of building up to it, a little bit more of his life. He went into the Navy because his brother Jack died, and his mother didn't want him to go into the Army, so he went into the Navy instead. And
Did his brother die in the army?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was discharged honorably from Okinawa, Japan, and he worked at his father's cement factory for 3 years until he went to the cartoonist and illustrator school, which is now called the School of Visual Arts. So he was with a guy named Tom Gill that asked him to be assistant on some of his freelancing projects, and he worked on it for like 9 months when he was doing this, drawing backgrounds and inserts, and he was getting $7 a week.
Ooh, that's
Killing
about
it.
$1 a
And
day.
do you want? I even got the conversion for
What year
today's
is this?
money.
What year is it?
It's like in the 1950s or so. $74.93 in 2020. So that's a day then too. So he was getting $7.
Oh.
Well, $7 a week, yeah. And he always thought it was a great experience, and he couldn't say anything bad about him at all, because it gave him that, a little bit of an edge. And eventually he branched out professionally in 1951 to Atlas, or Timely Comics, now Marvel. And he met up with Stan Lee, and he was part of Atlas at the time, and gave him work right away. See, this is going to be really short. And he wasn't really given any credits for any of the projects that he did with
No, Stanley wouldn't do that.
yeah,
A lot of the guys back then, it was just the comic, and they wouldn't even have the guys' names on it.
Yeah, because basically what they would end up doing then too, from what I was reading about him, they would it was like the Wild West. They got this packets of yellow notes, and basically they'd be like, oh hey, this is what your story is going to be. It could be a Western, it could be a sci-fi, it could be, biblical,
Romance,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It could be anything and everything, and that's what Joe Sinnott would practically do. But he worked on a whole multitude of projects, which I want to really get into. As far as sci-fi goes, Andy, you probably heard of these, Adventures in Terror, Astonishing Marvel Tales, Menace, Journey into Mystery, Strange Tales, and Uncanny Tales.
First appearance of Thor, Black Widow,
Doctor
and-
Strange?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Is which the is that like a Marvel? What's the one that has that Killdozer in it? Do you ever see Killdozer?
I've heard. I know what you're talking about.
Is that one of the robot mutants?
No,
the robot that kill mutants.
They made a TV movie with a Killdozer in it. It was a killer bulldozer. It was what was that? A maximum. It was like
Maximum Overdrive.
It was like Maximum Overdrive.
That was
but it
wasn't that DC?
No, Maximum Overdrive was its own
No.
thing. That was when the Carters came alive and they're
I
killing
know,
people
but
with
that's
the
based
AC/DC
off
soundtrack.
That's based off of a graphic novel, I think.
Is
I thought the Strange Tales or something like that had Killdozer in it. Anyways, go on.
okay.
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
But he also wrote multitude of war and Western ones then too.
They were big back then.
way big back then, and there was a
Horror,
lot of them.
but back then it was monsters.
I didn't really list the whole
Maximum Overdrive is a Stephen King book.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
that I know.
Yeah.
but the war and the Western stuff. It was just oh my god, there's so
seen
much
this.
of it to the point where if anything. I didn't even recognize any of them. There's the Two Gun Kid for Westerns. I didn't even list any of the war ones because they all clash together pretty much.
Yeah, that's
But,
one comic I'm not interested in at all. Was the Moore ones?
Yeah, he did a whole multitude of those type, and he did a lot more inking than people thought that he did, because he also did the comics the Dell comics and the Treasure Chest ones.
Can you imagine
that he did
inking back then? If you fuck up, that's done. Just throw it away, because there is no second copies. The guy's giving you his drawing, and you got to ink it and then give it to another guy so they can make it, and they can't save it on the computer.
Talk about get good, right?
Oh my god!
But yeah, he worked on those while Atlas was having a slow time. He only occasionally did work for them. So he worked for Charlton Comics then too,
Wow.
which was actually
Got
bought out by DC.
yeah.
So he was working a little bit at Atlas, then he was working at Charlton Comics, and he finally worked with Jack Kirby in the 60s, and he inked with Kirby. And one of his first ones, or one of the more popular ones, was Tales to Astonish number 10, July 1960. So it got reprinted twice.
What's significant about that comic, man?
Well, no, I'm just saying though, it was just redone because of
Somebody's
how the-
first appearances. In
He's asking
Yeah.
what Tales of Astonish is about, though. I think, right?
Yeah, what's that?
It was just more of like a story that he did the inking.
Back
Because
then, they were all like
But,
every issue was about a different thing.
I think what he's talking about, though, yeah, I think it's Tales to Astonish was sort of like Team Up, too, wasn't it?
it was like team up. It was more of like a collaborative effort, or like they did some stories together then too.
It's where they broadened out the universe, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's this gentleman's name?
Joe Sinnott.
Joel, right?
Joe J-O-E. Just
Sinnott.
Joe.
Sinnott.
You got it.
The comic book store has a couple books signed by him.
A lot of the stuff you see in the MCU is based off Tales to Astonish comics, just so you know.
Yeah, so like I was getting into that a little bit, like the dynamic duo of like Jack Kirby and Joe Sinnott. Jack Kirby would do the pencils, Joe would do the inking, and that's where you got that dynamic duo of sorts then too. It got to the point where he finally worked full time on the Fantastic Four series, where he inked Fantastic Four #5, which is the first appearance of Doctor Doom. So that cover he did all up, and the pages there then too. Multiple inking credits. Basically, he did Journey into Mystery 83, which is the first appearance of Thor.
Yeah.
He returned in 1965 to X-Men #13. I don't know why not number 12.
That was probably the one he was.
I just got who would be a perfect Doctor Doom, and I don't know the fucking guy's name. He's done so much with DC, though. Oh, man.
And then
Let me see your phone while you do that.
Yeah, go ahead. Here, hang on. Okay, yeah. Boop.
Oh, be a
There
lot
you
of
go.
porn on there.
Boop, boop, doop. Yeah, like my gay
Don't open that gallery.
like my gay friend that has a phone. That has a phone. But he'll show you a picture and be like, "Don't swipe left or right." It's like if you swipe left or right, it's your fault. It's like okay.
You may or may not see a penis.
Yeah.
But then he inked from issues 44 to 100 too. So November to 1965 to September of 1970.
That's
consistently.
That's some good work back
And
then.
still inked until 1981.
Wow.
So
And he still did comms up
It
until.
looks like a lot of his inking was black and white.
he did a lot of black and white. Very few, like not a whole lot of color, but the black and white
How do you
was.
hit enter on this?
Usually an inker will just take the drawing and just put black over it, and that's it. And then they give it to another colorist. But
Yeah,
some people, like some guys, do all that themselves. Some do two of the three. You know,
Because really what you're looking at, like you're doing the pencils, then it got to another guy. Like it was just way too much for one dude. And like, can you imagine like one
especially
dude doing
back
that?
then, they would put out a comic every once a month, or sometimes every 2 weeks.
That would be nutty.
And it was just they needed to have a couple different people working on it.
But like this guy was just a freaking machine just overall. And like he contributed to the actual looks of Galactus, Silver Surfer, Black Panther, Adam Warlock, the Inhumans, and many, many more of the iconic Marvel heroes and villains, like in the Silver Age, which is pretty wild to consider at the least. After inking, like he did a whole bunch. He did the Incredible Hulk, Captain America. He loved inking the Thing. He really loved inking the Thing because probably like with how big he was, like it was like I got free reign of how to ink them. You know
And
what I
plus,
mean?
when you ink, you can do some shading because you get to pick which areas and want to make all black, or do the line gimmick where you put the cross hatches.
He also did the West Coast Avengers then too.
Wow, he's still around. They came out in mid-70s.
So, and he retired from comics in 1992. So just to give you an idea, so that's just expanding from 65 to like 92. How this guy was
30
really,
years, huh?
and he was working all over the place and as a salaried inker then too. This guy, like watching a lot of his videos, they're pretty wild. Like how he does this stuff, and it looks so nice overall. But he wasn't finished yet. He actually inked the Amazing Spider-Man Sunday strip
Oh, well, how about that?
with Larry Lieber and Stan Lee when he was still alive. And they did that for a long time then too, in like in the 90s. And he retired on March 2019, so it was fairly recently. It's coming up to a year
Yeah,
now.
he was at a con because my shop went and met him and he signed books.
Found him. John Glover. He's the dude that played the villain in Shazam, Savannah's dad.
Okay.
The bored dad, John Glover. I'll show you guys. That's who I think would make a good Doctor Doom because I love his voice for it. He has a very distinct voice. That dude.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He would make an awesome Doctor Doom, but he's so ingrained in DC. It's the
Oh,
problem
okay, yeah,
is-
that guy, yeah.
yeah.
He looks like
That
a
would be my
taller
Dr.
Commissioner
Doom.
Gordon.
Yeah.
But
Dr. Doom.
like some of the awards that he actually had in 1995 was the Inkpot Award. They actually had like artist awards then too. In 2008, he was part of the Hall of Fame, the favorite inker, and he was actually an official ambassador that they actually made a award for him then too. So, and he actually is in the Will Eisner Hall of Fame since 2000. Well, in 2013,
Wow, and he's still alive, right?
still alive, 93 years old,
Jeez.
and 1 year shy of 70 years, 69 years, he actually inked
Wow.
his whole entire.
Should have did it
career.
for one more. Just did one comic that one time.
Surprised it wasn't weighed out by animation.
But what's really cool, I actually have 2 books. Some of them that you've seen on the show, but I actually got a signature by Joe
Did
Sinnott.
he ever do any DC work?
Superman. I found a Superman
Really?
drawing.
Wow.
So I'll let you see that.
Is that PX
That's
rated?
This is CGC graded, 2.5. That's Joe Sinnott's signature right there. That's more of his work, just on a regular scale than 2. And then I also have a Captain America that he actually did some of the art then too. So
Not the
seeing
art,
those
the
lines
ink.
and everything else.
Inked, right? Not
yeah,
art.
8.5.
but that's signed by Steranko. I didn't get Sinnott to.
Off-white pages.
I just learned from Pawn Stars the other day that some comics that were originally cost 15 cents are super rare collectibles because they raised the price from 10 cents to 15 cents, but only in like city areas, so there was a lot less
Oh, wow.
copies. So there was the same comic with the 10 cent price and with the 15 cent price. So if you see one with 15 cent price, which this is not, but if you see one with 15 cent price, it's worth more money.
So, Ben, why don't you tell everyone how much the Fantastic Four is worth here? Even at a 2.5?
Maybe about like.
Or should we all guess?
No, let's not
I'm
do that.
I'm just thinking.
Well, not what you
no.
pay for it, what it's worth, roughly.
Okay, I paid like maybe $400 for the book raw. Or no. Actually, no. That one in particular, I got in a lot from a guy in Mount Carmel for like less than $60.
Raw?
Raw, yeah.
Okay.
And I got Sinnott to sign it. I think that was maybe like $60. That might be in $1,800 book. About maybe.
I'm guessing like CGC was there when they signed these.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
these are the ones that are
You have
like.
to get the
I got
witness,
I got yeah, I
Otherwise,
got
it's
a
like
gu- I have a
graffiti.
guy.
Is this the one that introduces Galactus?
Yes,
then?
that's the
I'm guessing.
first
Yep, that's-
appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that makes it, yeah.
So I kind of figured breaking out. I did have the Inhuman. I did have the first appearance of the Inhumans or Black Bolt, but I didn't. I sold that one years ago, like a couple years back.
This is Madam Hydra.
So what would a mint 10 of that be worth?
Oh, God.
a lot of fucking money.
If it was like an 8,
that would be a lot. That would be maybe like
10,000?
maybe like 5 figures.
yeah,
5 figures.
yeah,
at
I can
I'm
least.
thinking 25. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, Fantastic Four 48.
All right, hold on.
Even at 2.5, I bet that could go a couple, at least $600, right?
And you know, I mean, they're ever since they have been spiking over the past few years.
Yeah.
Then too, and like people are getting like 2.5s that are like 1,200 then
Yeah.
too. So like if you really sat on them and stocked up on them, I mean,
Okay, this is what they're currently on Heritage going for right now. That's the current
360 for a bid. Now, so that's 8.5 not signed. but-
10 days left.
See, I think it would go for more. Yeah.
What's the top bid?
That one's currently sitting at $300.
Well, it's got 10 days left. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a highly, traveled
I
auction.
think that's gonna sell
I can
for, like,
see how
triple.
much they sold for.
Yeah, see if you can see what one sold for.
and then I have one that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks. It has Sinnott and Stan Lee's signature
Oh, wow.
then too. So it was the same book that I had on the
Holy
first
fuck.
on the first one. Yeah.
So, August 2nd, 2018, okay?
Holy shit.
A 9.8 sold for $37,000.
Yeah.
Ain't that insane?
Yeah, like right
That's
there.
crazy.
Wow, look at that, $37,200.
There's
16 grand.
16.
Is that even adding the commission then too, or the?
I think that's with the buyer's premium.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one's going to be when Galactus comes into the MCU and they bring the Fantastic Four. That's just going to.
There's one
up.
that's signed.
Okay, so a signed one by Stan Lee sold for $15,535, and that was a 9.8.
Yeah, it was a 9.8.
I'm looking at a 5.5 used. 2000.
They're all really
Yeah.
high grade. Holy shit.
Yeah, how do you even find 9.8? 10 grand?
A 4.5 for $1,249.
You get a comic and you get 10 grand. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, yeah,
if I had a shop and I got this, like, I was going to, signed 2.5, I think I would price it $600.
Like I said, it's just going to keep going up too
Yeah.
as the Fantastic Four and Galactus come into.
And I bet I would sell it pretty fast. Now I put 1,000 because it's a 2.5, but still, it's a CGC thing, so you can't argue it.
Yeah.
Now,
But I mean,
Captain
like-
America, I don't know, but I would probably.
It's the whole comic, right? Because that's very important.
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, like the guy really, like, as you can tell,
A
like
2.0 is not CGG, not
CG, not graded. Yeah,
Not signed, you mean?
$60
$60
for not CGC holders.
Okay, yeah. So usually CGC will up it a comic about $100 at least.
yeah.
And that's not signed. So.
Yeah, even if it's a shit comic, and like if it's worth $2, okay. Now CGC is worth like $102. And like,
Well, folks, if you guessed that it was less than 5, then you would have been right. If
Yeah.
you'd gotten on the button, well,
Hold on, I got one here.
now the Captain America one, I don't know offhand.
A 2.0 or 2.5 is going for $575. Last sold
graded or not?
Yeah, graded 2.5
Okay, not signed.
for $575, not signed.
Yeah, so that like I said, at my shop I would sell for $600.
A 3.0, $775, not signed, but that's actually signed by the
Yeah,
inker,
Ben
so.
got it in a lot.
And how many does he do? Like, did he do the Stan Lee route where he did a lot of Comic Cons to sign stuff, or is
he
his
did
more
like
rare?
he did like small stuff when it came to it. Like he actually went back to his hometown and like he did like the whole like. He, like I said, he was a salaried inker, so like Stan Lee would send him stuff. Like that's how he ended up. Like Stan was like, "Hey, I want you to do Fantastic Four #5," and then he inked it and he sent it back. It was kind of like that old snail
Ben's
mail.
giving
what
a different answer.
Yeah,
But
yeah. What
he
I'm
would do
asking-
some small cons. He wouldn't do like New York Comic Con.
It wasn't like anything extravagant. Like Stanley was going boom, 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 like hitting them all up in one shot. Like he would do maybe like one quarter he would do like a few, and then another quarter he would do a few. And it was even tough for me to even get.
Because why I'm
that
asking
signature.
is there's comics that sell with original art from popular comics, but the signature is significantly more rare than Stan Lee. But they wrote original art, so it's worth way more.
Yeah,
like if you get Steve Ditko, because he would hardly do any cons ever.
oh my god, he barely. I don't think he. It's not even really documented that he. I don't know if he even did any.
Yeah, I think there's some people got signatures.
Who's the I don't know, is he an anchor or is he anchor that's Rachel's related to Rachel?
It's Jim Steranko. He's
I don't think they're actually related. That's actually this guy right here.
Steranko.
Yeah.
What is his first name?
Jim.
Yeah, Jim Steranko.
Oh, they're actually not related?
No, I don't think. But here's the good thing about Jim Steranko. He reminds me of the Rat Pack. Like he always has nice suits on, his hair is all nicely parted and everything. He's like this high class guy, and he's a comic artist.
He's cool as shit.
Yeah, he
too.
is. He's like
cool.
this playboy, like old guy. I met him at Gone 2 years ago. So
There was one convention story where he was signing something for somebody, and the guy's like, "I don't have enough of money to get this. I really wanted to meet you and get this signed." And he signed the book. He goes, "Here you go. Take it." He was just like really cool about it. Let the guy get it like a signature that he couldn't afford.
Now blow me in my limo.
Now suck my dick. What was that? Yeah, Team America.
Team America, yeah.
Anything else to the topic?
No, that's the very short, right to the point topic. I know it's.
I like how you justify the short topic by shitting on ours, like right to the point.
right to the point.
No word salad from Matthew.
The comics are pretty cool.
A request before we wrap this up.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Can Andy review the Teddy soda? Just
Oh.
a quick take on what he thinks.
Well, it's now discontinued, so you can go to Pots for Boyers and get one for 50 cents. The grape is pretty good. It's not as good as the Faygo grape, which
Teddy's.
is the best. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt soda. I wonder why it didn't take off with this 26-ounce bottle. They were $1 though, so I mean, there was also strawberry, which is pretty good, ginger ale, and 2 other ones. I know because I bought one when they came out.
It's caffeine free.
It is caffeine free. It ain't for 50 cents. It's phenomenal.
All right, very good.
There's the Eats brand is I guess the Family Dollar version of stuff, and they make these chocolate wafers that are so fucking awesome. They're only $1. So pick up the Eats wafers.
Yeah,
while you're at it.
sometimes the generic stuff is really good.
Yeah,
So I
dude,
have some
they're
weird-
actually they're
Yeah.
the best chocolate wafers I've ever had.
I
They don't
believe
have
it.
that like shitty taste that
Yeah.
some of them have.
So I have some weird fun facts.
About Joel Sinnott?
Yep. So
I keep thinking it's Joel.
he actually he drew some biblical comics
Oh, Jesus.
from.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Go
did
on.
More, he did really, he did really good
He's done
stuff.
comics from Babe Ruth to Pope John to the Beatles, in addition to some album covers, movie posters, and much more.
I've seen the Beatles comics. Yeah. They were on Pawn Stars, I think, too.
Yeah.
He did an event that raised money for the Ronald McDonald House, where everyone who bought a ticket to the baseball game that night received a card that he drew, and he also threw out the first pitch. So he's done some pretty cool charity work.
He actually was with the museum. Actually, 3 of his pieces are in the one. It's the Chicago, the one baseball museum in Chicago. His artwork is actually in there, and they actually considered him in the Hall of Fame then too. With that, I forgot to mention that.
But where did you meet these guys at?
Well, I have a guy that knew a guy.
Oh, that went
too.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually get this sign?
Like a proxy. Yeah,
Oh,
somebody
okay.
else
Okay.
got
Okay.
it when they were
Okay.
at that convention up in New York.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I wasn't
I was
sure. I
like,
didn't know if you did or not.
No. I mean, you gotta find ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The CGC.
For the first 12 years, he penciled and inked his own stories, and then he went to just penciling and inking with Jack Kirby, because Jack was not a great inker, so he did a lot of inking for Jack. And then Stan asked if he would ink his story that Jack did, and Stan loved it so much he asked if he would stay on with Stan and Jack for a while, because he was very easy to work with. A lot of guys liked working with him.
Yeah, he was definitely a good cat. He
This-
really was.
The CGC, because I don't know anything about this one, do they authenticate the signatures too?
Well, usually they have to be there to witness it. You
So,
need
like,
a CGC witness, and they will you go to their CGC stand and you say, "Hey, I'm going to get this book signed at such and such a time. Can I have a witness?" Or if it's a real big guy, the witness will just stay at the table, and then you have a piece of paper that you file out that basically says, "I'm getting this comic signed by this guy," and the witness signature signs it to say, "I've seen the guy."
So
sign
you
it.
would have if you don't go that route, you would have to send it to an authenticator.
No, yeah, but they won't. CGC will
it's-
not do it.
No, it's
No,
like a
but-
different colored label. This is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the one
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like authentic. They actually consider anything else like graffiti, kind of.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Well, what I
But
mean,
that has like
blue-
a different label.
They go
color.
different color labels.
Yeah.
There's blue, green,
They kind of
purple,
will
yellow.
like an authentic, but it's not like if I have a playing card signed by a famous.
yeah. Well,
baseball
that's
player.
what I mean. Like, can you send it to a different? Like, can you send it to PSA for
You
for
can
authentication
send
on
it-
the signature?
Yeah.
Get that certificate
You
and
can
carry it
but
with the comic.
It won't be. It'll be a different color, so this won't be like it wasn't seen. So they don't. They act like we
wanna-
think it's real, but it might not.
Well, I want to get to that.
It's
I want to
weird.
get to that question
Part
too.
of their
So,
racket.
Yeah, that's why I don't get into CGC
I
too
don't
much.
get into
So
CGC
CBCS is the other one that's like close to CGC when it comes to it.
Yeah,
so, like,
they'll
say,
do
for
it.
example, like if you got Andy Hedder's comic
I
book,
have
Andy
many-
signed it,
yeah.
and you didn't have a witness, you can send it to CBCS and they can authenticate it,
Okay.
and then they
That's
get
what I'm
a
asking.
red label.
But
yeah.
CGC won't do it. They'll give you a
Yeah.
different label, and they kind of look down on that, like, well, we think it's real, but we don't know.
Yeah, because they do the green one, which is like qualified or something like
Yeah.
it. There's like stipulations to that.
Who is this autograph?
there are
That's
places.
Jim Steranko.
Jim Steranko.
That's
Like all
on
my
the-
books that I got
I think it's,
signed,
like,
like
right here.
no one's seen it except for me and my friend, and like
He draws a heart like that.
Well, there is places.
What?
He makes it his autograph. His
no, it says
a heart,
Jim. Well, a lot of people.
No, it just says Steranko.
Oh, okay.
It's just only Steranko.
but it's in a heart.
I think
like
this
it's just
S-
really like swoopy.
That was special for
Yeah.
Ben. The heart.
No.
I don't know what it's weird. He probably didn't know what he was doing.
He would always do that kind of stuff. Like you always see it in his
right,
like his like 60s stuff.
Give me that
too.
marker.
If
Sign
anything.
it.
He has a cool autograph for the first appearance of Wolverine, where the guy who actually drew Wolverine for that issue autographed it and then did a doodle of Wolverine on the art as well, on the cover as well.
What's that grade at, Ben?
That's an 8.0.
Yeah.
Did CGC?
How much would I sell it for at
sit
my
there
shop?
While he,
Well,
12 grand.
well, that has like John Romita Sr.
It has Stan Lee.
Yeah.
It has like 4 or 5 autographs.
I'm gonna
on
get
it.
Roy Thomas because he was like he actually had a part in it too, and I
But would you be afraid if you cracked it open to get the signature that it would it would go down a number or two?
I mean at that point,
as soon as the air hits it, it shrivels up
Yeah.
and turns into ashes.
I mean at
That's the thing about CGC. Like, there could be two different graders. One guy look at it say 2.5, and another guy might say, "Oh, that's a 4," and then
It's
another guy would say,
definitely-
"That's a 1."
It's an imperfect
that's-
science.
yeah.
That's already been proven.
Yeah.
Like, they've gotten stuff, they've cracked it open, sent it back, and it's gotten a different grade.
And there's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
card collectors that will like get a really high grade and they'll post a video like exposing it, be like, this is not a 9, it's off center, because that's one thing that they look for. It's like it's off center, it's not inked correctly, but it got a
slightly
9.
warped.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a quick topic.
I told you it was going to be
Next
quick.
week's topic, I think Steve is doing I don't remember the artist's name or the creator, but the creator of Calvin and
Oh
Hobbes.
yeah.
I think it's Watterson. I think
Something like
last
that,
name
yeah.
is Watterson. I think.
I'm a big. I like Calvin Hobbes, but I don't know enough about the creator.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him at all.
And then I guess you said you want to take the next one when you come back.
Yeah, we'll do Howard Stern the next time because there's
Hey now.
yeah,
There's
'cause-
4 of us at the table that are going to be into that
Yeah.
one. I'm not sure if you're a big Howard fan. I know I'm a.
I remember watching Howard like
Let's listen to him
teen
today.
years.
Well, that's what I was actually
Yeah,
about
I
to
did
say.
too.
Most people are casual fans where they know him from the E! Show or they know him from like before that.
and
there
that's
was
how
the
I knew
online
him
show.
from the
Yeah.
E! Show. Yeah, definitely.
And
I
then-
used to watch that. big
And then
time.
there's even before that, there was the Channel 9 show, so people knew
Okay.
him from that with like Underdog Lady and
Then
stuff
there's
like
a whole
that.
other people who know him just as the judge from America's Got Talent.
And then there's also the Artie. So Artie took over for the big guy, Jackie the Joke Man, which we'll talk about. And then there's the Artie era fans that don't know anything about like Billy West or anything like that. Billy West is phenomenal, by the way. He
Yeah.
voiced Ren and Stimpy.
And I was like, what?
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
he
what
also
happened to
does
that
Frank
guy?
from Futurama.
He had a contract dispute with them where he wanted more money because he was having to go out between so who he is, first of all, Billy West, he didn't create Ren and Stimpy, but he was the first one on to voice
Okay.
He was
them.
voicing Ren, Hulk, Stimpy,
And he would do a lot of other impressions.
Right,
Of it.
he's a very famous voice actor,
Yeah.
and he was some of
Bender
his
on
era.
Futurama.
Yeah,
No, that's John DiMaggio.
No.
Yeah, the guy who does Bender is the same guy who does
Phoenix,
Marcus
yeah.
Phoenix from Gears of War.
Leela's Katie
Joe DiMaggio.
And he does
Jake
Jake from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
I think he
Who
is
am I thinking
someone.
of?
He might be somebody on Futurama.
He also
but
does,
he does
the
a
red.
lot.
He does
Billy
the
West
red.
did a
He
lot.
did the red M&M for the M&M's commercial.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a very famous voice actor now. But some of the best shows that they had with the Howard Stern era was him because he would do.
Oh yeah,
Like-
Marge Shot.
Yeah, Marge Shot was hilarious. He would do like Larry Fine from the Three Stooges. That's how he got on the Howard Stern show, was
Oh,
doing
wow.
Larry Fine. But he would do also like hilarious ones, like super like racist Sambo. Like it's hilarious.
He was at the Lancaster Comic Con at like a couple years.
He's very
back, Billy
a lot
West.
of people would know him from horror movies and voiceover, but they don't really know he was on Howard Stern. What happened was he was doing so much voiceover work because what happened was John Krasinski was the creator of Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, he's Fry.
And
That's who he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know he's somebody
I thought
on
he was Bender
Futurama.
for some
Well,
reason.
what's his name is actually working for the Howard Stern right now as he like pretends to call in and do a voice, and it's the dude that's like he's really popular on Cartoon Network. He has his own show. The comedian with the afro.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Eric
Andre?
Eric Andre. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he
Eric
did,
Andre's working for the Howard Stern right now, but for a while there, they were like, we can't say who he is. He didn't want people to know he was working. And then he would call in, like, when Jeff the Junk would call in, Jeff the Junk had, like, this lump on his...
Fuck you, Howard.
He had this lump on his neck, and they'd be like, who's calling in? Oh, it's Jeff's lump. Like, oh my God, fucking kill me. And it would be like him calling,
yeah.
like Bobo's toupee. He used to call in his Bobo's toupee.
Who,
Like,
Billy West.
It's Eric Andre.
Eric Andre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did on Futurama. He did Philip, Fry, Professor Farnsworth, Zoidberg, and Zap Brannigan.
Yeah, you could do a whole.
Well,
episode
listen,
on
we don't
Billy
want to
West
give too
himself.
much away, but that's going to
Yeah.
be. So we have 2 topics in the works for you guys. Next week is going to be the Calvin and Hobbes creator, and then in the week after that, Matt will take.
Yeah, we could.
Howard Stern.
That one can go a long time because there's so
we'll
many
be really
different
quick. I think all
sections
4
his-
of us can chime in a lot with that one.
Hey now.
Yeah, there's so many different sections of his career from like when he was in his early days in Washington and then Detroit and living like he lived in a monastery for over a year. Like we'll talk about all that.
4 or 5 now best-selling books.
Yeah, he's done
movie?
so much. Yeah,
I have Miss America. I have that.
I have all of
I think
them,
I have
but
private parts too.
I have all of them except Howard
The new
Stern
one.
Comes Again.
Okay.
I don't have it yet.
the most underrated character in that show's history, who we'll definitely go into, is Fred. He's like the best.
Fred's,
Oh, yeah.
Fred's
one of the greatest
lifeblood.
comic minds.
Fred is great. Yeah, 'cause
our
he
generation.
controls all the noise drops.
Fred is the drum to the band.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
with no drum, there's no show.
He is the most underrated comedian that most people have never heard of because he's like literally hilarious. He created some of the very best sketches, bits, lines. He writes lines for Howard to say live. Like he's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it. Here's some Look Alive. We'll see you guys next week.
Wow.